Welcome to this production from Western New York Athletics. Our featured sponsors for today's game are Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. Richmond Vona LLC is committed to you. Being involved in a serious accident creates a whirlwind of changes. We know how serious the effects of a car accident can be on the victims and their families. At Richmond Vona LLC, we have helped our clients recover over $175 million. We have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today. Or visit richmondvona.com. Colvin Cleaners, Western New York's premier green earth dry cleaner. Dry cleaning, wash and fold laundry, shirts, and tailoring. 2375 Elmwood Avenue, Kenmore. Call 716-873-2952. Logistics Plus of Buffalo. For all of your transportation needs, full truckload, LTL, dedicated and drop trailer moves, Logistics Plus of Buffalo is a one-stop shop. Email buffalo@logisticsplus.com for your next shipment or warehousing needs. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. Locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Binghamton University, a world-class institution. Binghamton University offers students a broad, interdisciplinary education with an international perspective and one of the most vibrant research programs in the nation. Visit www.binghamton.edu today. We would also like to thank Pathfinder College Planning, Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, Lewis & Lewis PC, 37 Franklin Street, Buffalo, New York, B&T Supply, and Western Division, home of the Great Rate. Thank you for joining us. Please enjoy the game.
It's time for a high school playoff football here in Section 6. We thank you guys for tuning into a playoff special edition of the Empire State EndZone. My name is Jacob Fyock. Alongside me is Francis Boeck. And Francis, we've had some games last night that had some really good competitive games. Teams that are able to move on to the semifinal round and to their respective brackets, and we'll talk about those in a bit. But for tonight, we are going to see 7 games, 14 football teams battle it out and move on to the semifinal round next week.
Yeah, kind of an interesting setup with Halloween happening tonight. Normally you would have, 20 games or at least 18, 19 happen on this Friday night, but because of the holiday, they kind of split it up. So we had about a half dozen last night. We have about a half dozen tonight, and we have a couple tomorrow. So interesting kind of 3-day weekend to open up the Section 6 playoffs. But yeah, already off to an exciting start. I'm excited about tonight's games as well.
Yeah, as you'll see throughout the towns, many of the kids dressed up in their Halloween costumes going to be grabbing their candy. We're going to see some dogs tonight. They're going to put on the shoulder pads, their team's jersey, their helmet. They're going to be hungry to try to get a win tonight.
Yeah, I think there's some favorite teams, these number one seeds, who should be nervous, maybe a little spooked, I should say, on this Halloween.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the top 7 games that we'll be showing you here tonight on the Empire State EndZone, and it's brought to you by Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys.
Yeah, game number 1, it's from Class C. We have Salamanca taking on Barker Royhart. Game number 2, Silver Creek Forestville versus Randolph. Both of these games will be shown in full on the NFHS network by our Western New York Athletics crews. Game number 3, Class A, Grand Island against Williamsville North, 4-1 matchup. Game 4, we're going back to Class C, Akron against Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton. Game 5, down in Class D, Cattaraugus Little Valley making the big trip up to Wilson in the 7-2 game. AA, Lockport's going to play Jamestown, a rematch from last week. And then in Class D, our game number 7, Franklinville Ellicottville is going to take on Gowanda Pine Valley.
Some pretty good games that we'll be seeing here throughout the night. And why don't we just get right into it, Francis? You mentioned that first one, Barker Royhart Salamanca, a game where I believe is going to be one of the couple of competitive games we're going to be seeing throughout this weekend in quarterfinal playoff football.
Yeah, I don't have it right in front of me, Jake, but I think it's been a while since Barker Royhart has been in the playoffs, at least on their own. Remember, they were with Medina for a time, so they have some experience that way. But as far as just being without Medina going to the playoffs in Section 6, it's certainly been a while. You have to really go back to find out. So, but Barker, obviously, the number 1 team in Class C North. This team has gone 7-1 overall this year. Their only loss to Class D Newfane. Other than that, in league play, they've been taking care of business. They're led this year by running back Joseph Ryder. He has 867 yards and 11 touchdowns. Their quarterback is Tyson McCaw. He has 642 yards and 8 TDs through the air. Defensively, they're led by Vincenzo Fazio with 53 total tackles. This team, again, really has been taking care of business. Last week in a game that they didn't need to win, they still beat Maritime Tapestry, who at that point was fighting to get into the playoff spot, able to take care of business 50-34 against them. So that shows you where this team is going into this game, but you wonder about nerves for Barker Royhart. Other side, you have Salamanca. They're the 4 seed in Class C South. They have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Bit of an upset loss to Portville in week 5, 28-8. They fell to Southwestern Fruisburg, who's undefeated. They beat Fredonia and then lost in a very close one, which we saw the tail end of last week here on the Friday night final drive, 25-28 to Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton. That would have given them the 2 seed. Instead, because of that loss to Portville earlier, they fall to the 4 seed, so they have the out against Barker Royhart, the number 1 seed. They're led this year by Peyton Bradley, their quarterback, 985 yards, 9 TDs through the air. He's also the leading rusher with 412 yards. Also with 412 yards is Connor Seeley. He's a junior. And defensively, they're led by Thomas George with 65 total tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and a sack. And Peyton Bradley, I should also mention, also has 3 interceptions on defense this year. So to go with 0 interceptions throwing the ball. So Bradley, I believe he was that tight end last year or last couple of years on their sectional championship winning teams. Salamanca is younger this year. They're going to have a longer road to get back to the stadium if they can do that.
No doubt about it. And both these teams are looking to obviously move on to the next round. Salamanca, a team that, we saw them last year, they were a Class C state finalists. And just to see them now be a 4 seed just in here in Section 6 in the Class C South region, now going up against a Royhart team. This game, I think, is going to be interesting. Just see how much are they going to be able to respond knowing what they have going up against them tonight?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what they do. This game brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today.
All right, let's go ahead and go on to the next matchup all the way down in Class D. It's going to be the 5 seed in Silver Creek, Forestville, the Black Knights. They'll take on the 4 seed in the Randolph Cardinals. And this game's brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com. We'll start off with Silver Creek Forestville. They're 3-5 overall, 3-4 in Class D, giving them the 5 seed. They defeated Ellicottville Franklinville last week, 26-20. This team, throughout the season, up until the last 2 weeks, have struggled to put points on the board. But the last two, they've dropped 47 against Allegheny Limestone, and then, like we mentioned, 26 against Franklinville Ellicottville. On top of that, this matchup between Silver Creek, Forestville, and Randolph, this is the second time both teams are going to face each other this season. Back in Week 3, Randolph won the game, but only was a 15-6 score, and that was competitive throughout the match. Could we possibly get something similar tonight? Well, there's some key guys for Silver Creek Forestville. They're going to have to get that done. Manny Sanchez, their freshman running back, leads them all in rushing yards with 593 on the ground and 5 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown last game and a rushing score when they played Randolph back in Week 3. Will Dulaiba, their junior quarterback, almost 800 yards passing with 8 touchdowns, but also has 7 interceptions. And I think Dom Anders here, their junior, is going to be the key one. He's done great for them on defense, leads them in tackles, also has an interception, 2 fumble recoveries, and a defensive touchdown. I think if he's able to get all over the field and go up against their top guys on Randolph's offense, I think that'll be a key factor that Silver Creek Forestville stay in this game. He's also their leader in the passing attack, which I know they don't typically pass as much considered to other teams, but if they get that going and their quarterback and Anders get that connection going right away, that could be very good for them down the stretch. And then Davin DeLong, their senior, 33 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and has 12 catches for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Was a Week 6 Conley Cup Player of the Week. So those are going to be, 4 guys there that are really going to have to step up today as they take on this Randolph team. 5-3 overall, 4-3 in Class D. Number 4 seed almost was the 3 seed. But if you saw this show last week, you know what happened. Go on to Pine Valley, game-winning touchdown before the clock expired to win that game. And that is how Randolph got the 4 seed. So it was an unfortunate game for them. This is definitely a game where they want to try to gain some momentum back, get that confidence back in that team, and this is one game to do it. And both teams will need that because next week, the winner of this game is going to face 1-seeded Newfane next Friday night at 7. And as we saw, Newfane won last night.
I think it was 59-0 running clock, I believe, in the second half. So Newfane really took care of business last night.
Yeah, so both these teams, they got to get ready for this one, try to find a way to gain that momentum next week against Newfane. So for Randolph, Kevin McElwain, Alexander Garland, Jackson Morrison each have 5 rushing touchdowns. So you got a nice trio of guys that can put the ball on the ground and able to get the running attack going. So they've also thrown the ball well. Morrison has 9 passing touchdowns with 644 yards through the air. Carter Conley and Cyrate Johnson have been Morrison's favorite targets to go to. In fact, the last matchup between both squads, Randolph scored against Silver Creek on the ground attack and in special teams. And remember in that game, Alexander Garland took a punt return to the house. So for Randolph, special teams can be there for you, but you obviously want that scoring to come from the ground and through the air or both. If you're able to do it both ways, you're doing a pretty darn good job. And I also think tackling needs to be great for them as well. They're going to have their assignments. They got to bring the ball carrier down. And I think another guy who might be doing that is Isaiah Dowdy, who was a Week 2 Trench Trophy nominee. So those two teams, I really think that Randolph, I think of as long as they're able to get both the ground and passing attack going and able to tackle well, they'll be able to come away with a big win here tonight.
All right, we'll move on to game number 3. Up in Class A, it is the Grand Island Vikings, the 4 seed out of A2, is going to take on Williamsville North, the division winners in A1. This game brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. And Jake, we were talking about this in our meeting before the show today. I can't explain it, Jake, but I just have this weird feeling. I think Grand Island can pull off the upset. Yeah, I want to. Let's take a look at their schedule here. They're 5-3. Their losses 26-0 to Health. A lot of teams have lost by much bigger margins to Health.
Yep.
Their other loss, a 3-point loss to Will East, and then last week they were in it with McKinley for 3.5 quarters until the Max put up 2 scores late. So this Grand Island team is very, very good. They played teams tough. They're led this year by their quarterback, Anthony Mantone, with 897 yards, 8 TDs through the air. He's also their leading rusher with 380 yards and 4 touchdowns. Defensively, they're led by Riley O'Brien with 46 total tackles and Jacob Breisky with 39 total tackles. Other side, we have Williamsville North. Last week, their job was to defeat Clarence. They did that 20-12. Game we saw here on the Friday night or on the Empire State EndZone. This team started off with 2 losses out of conference, right? 38-7 to Jamestown, 34-15 to Niagara Falls. Those losses don't look too bad right now. And ever since that point, they've been taking care of business. Their big wins, 30-18 over 2 seed West Seneca West. We mentioned they beat Clarence. This team is led by their quarterback, their running back, Jordan Brown, with 911 yards, 11 touchdowns. He's really come on, especially the back half of the season. And their quarterback, A.J. Weissenberg, he's thrown for 653 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's also run for 486 and 4 touchdowns. Defensively, they're led by Iman Moiso with 51 total tackles on the year. Our Adam Gorski is going to be at this game, and we're going to have him call into the end of this, but one I'm certainly keep a close eye on. And because, if Grand Island wins, that sets up for possibly an A2 sweep this year, because we have Will East and West Seneca West tomorrow. But Will North should not be coming into this game easy.
No, they shouldn't at all. And Will North's had a really good season as well. They face some really good competition, and they're going to get another team tonight in Grand Island, and Grand Island's definitely no joke. Here's a game also that 2 teams should not take lightly at all, and it's back over in Class C. We have the Akron Tigers, ranked number 3 in C North, taking on the Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton Eagles, the number 2 seed in C South. We'll start with Akron. They shut out Springville 20-0, 5-1 in Class C North, 6-2 overall. This Akron team right now, if you've had a chance to watch this team play recently, compared to where they're at week 1, they look like a different team. They played Guanda Pine Valley to begin the season, lost by 13. And then Akron took on Barker Royhart the following week, lost them 28-10. Since then, the Tigers are currently on a 6-game winning streak, and they've outscored their opponents 167-62 with a plus 105 point differential. A lot of those guys that have been great for them. Colin Miller, their senior running back, 1,000-yard rusher, 8 touchdowns on the ground. Also has 2 touchdown receptions, and he's been great for them on defense with 51 tackles, a fumble recovery, and a defensive touchdown. He's been all over the place for them on both sides of the ball. Blake Gerston, their senior wide receiver, 39 catches, almost 400 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns, and he's been great on their pass defense with 2 INTs. Cole Siska, their sophomore quarterback, almost 800 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, also has 6 rushing touchdowns on the ground. And then Zachary Siska, the senior, with 4 interceptions. Those are going to be the core four on a team that's not a big roster, but we've seen what happens when you have a roster that's maybe not as big as others, but they stay healthy and you have the right guys, you can still have a very successful season. Akron's done that so far.
Yeah, they've been through a lot of tough seasons the past years where they've had some smaller rosters have struggled to get a full 16 in the lineup to play games throughout the year. But this year it seems like they got the pieces together and they seem to be poised to kind of make a run in Class C.
Yeah, and that run's going to start off against the Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton Eagles, 7-1 overall, 6-1 in Class C South. They faced Salamanca and beat them out 28-25. Thandon Bensink, 8 rushing touchdowns. He'll be a big part of that, along with their senior quarterback, Braden Gibbs, who has over 1,000 yards passing with 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And then Devin Hewis, a good guy that Gibbs likes to go to, 5 touchdown receptions. He was a Week 4 Conley Cup Player of the Week. Braden Gibbs was also a Conley Cup Player of the Week earlier this season. And then Asher Olsen, tight end, 6 touchdowns, and then on defense, he has an interception. Tristan Gibbs has been great for them on defense as a sophomore with 70 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery, and he was also a Conley Cup Player of the Week. Another guy who's also been a Conley Cup and a Trench Trophy nominee in the same season was Trent Hauser, one of their big guys on the defensive line. We know this team that can score. There's no doubt about it. There's been 5 games this season where Chautauqua Lake has scored more than 40 points a game. I will say, though, against other opponents who have done much better than some of the opponents they face, they've had some closer games. Like CSP, who's not even in the playoffs, Chautauqua Lake wins 14-12. Against Southwestern Frewsburg, we knew how that game goes. Southwestern Frewsburg shut them out 45-0. And then against Salamanca, they won by 3. So I think for this game, because both teams have been so good running the ball, I really think the battle of the trenches here is going to be the key. How are they going to do against each other? Whoever wins that is going to win this football game. And by the way, whoever wins this game will take on either Barker Royhart or Salamanca, which is also happening tonight, also one of the games we have highlighted. So this should be a really good contested battle. And this game's brought to you by Larson Orthodontics. Located 680 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown, their top priority is to provide the highest quality of orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable environment. They treat children and adults with braces or Invisalign, and they are a proud supporter of local student athletes. So for Akron against Chautauqua Lake, battle of the trenches there, to me, is going to decide who wins this game.
Jake, you know what other part that we need to talk about is coaching. That's where Chautauqua Lake really has the edge. Coach Ty Harper, first year with Chautauqua Lake, led CSP to a couple state titles. He knows exactly what teams need to do once you get to this point in the year. That's a big advantage for the Eagles. Why don't we take a short break? When we come back, we'll talk about the rest of our games we're highlighting, and then, of course, at 7 o'clock, we'll follow the action tonight, Section 6 quarterfinals. This is the Empire State End Zone. We'll be right back.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Empire State End Zone Playoff Edition quarterfinals taking place here tonight. We got 7 games that we will be highlighting throughout the evening, and one of these games will see Francis Cat Little Valley take on Wilson.
Yeah, this game, a Class D game, is brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.2.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today. Jake, this is the 2-7 game. Wilson, we saw them last week. They lost an absolute tough one to Newfane. The score was 46-25, but talking to Tom Prince, who was on the call for that one, doesn't think that's quite indicative of how close it actually was. He says, we saw that Newfane kind of take the lead kind of late on that Capon touchdown, the 4th and 1. He says there might have been a missed holding call on that play that, if it gets called and Newfane, punts the ball away, we could be talking about a different game. So this Newfane team probably a little peeved after that one, but they're 7-1 on the year. They're only lost last week. They've been taking care of business against, including their opponent tonight, Cattaraugus Little Valley. They beat them 34-0 back in week 2. They're led by their running back, senior Michael Rubel, 703 yards, 7 touchdowns, but they have an amazing running attack. Brock Leipzig, only 350 yards, but he has 8 touchdowns. And their quarterback, Vic Rusteas, he's run for 337 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's also thrown for nearly 900 yards and 15 touchdowns. On the defense, it's Leipzig again leading the way with 92 total tackles, including 15 tackles for a loss. Newfane will be back at home. 2-7 game. They're going to be hungry. I think the Lakemen are going to take care of business in this one. But on the other side, you have Cattaraugus Little Valley. They're led by Mark Benton, who is a veteran here in Section 6. It's been a tough year for Cattaraugus Little Valley, 2-6, but they get the win last week over Allegheny Limestone to get this 7 seed, 30-8 winners. They're led by their running back, Dylan Swanson, 843 yards, 6 touchdowns. And on defensively, Grady Merrill leads the way with 48 total tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and an interception. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Wilson, you don't want to take anything for granted. I think you're going to see a very hungry team on that football field looking to take out some frustration tonight.
Absolutely. And, we had that game last week. And Wilson got that game to at least a 1-score game. It was 33-25, but Newfane just had enough to pull out the win. But I'll tell you, Wilson, you've seen how the brackets look in Class D. You never want to jump to everything. But those two teams want to play each other again at Highmark Stadium for the Class D championship. And they have an opportunity to do that. But they got to get the wins, though. And Wilson, it starts tonight against Cattaraugus Little Valley.
All right, Jake, why don't you tell us about game number 6?
Yeah, we'll shoot all the way up to Class AA. We got the Lockport Lions taking on the Jamestown Red and Green. This game is brought to you by G&G. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment. With locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse, visit livefit.com. Lockport is the 6th seed, 1-7 overall, 1-5 in Class AA. They faced Jamestown last week, and Jamestown was able to put up a big victory against them. So 2 teams facing each other in back-to-back weeks, but this one obviously being a playoff game. Lockport, very young roster, 11 seniors on the team, and the rest of the mix is of 15 juniors and several sophomores. But leading the way, their junior quarterback, Scott Stowe, has the majority of the touchdowns this season, has thrown for 9 and rushed for 7, and on defense he has an interception too. Charles Johnson III, Gavin Fluellen have been great for them on defense and tackling. They each got 42. And then you have Noah Bowman, who's able to do well in the passing attack with 252 receiving yards on 22 catches. And then Nathan Davis, a sophomore, O-line and D lineman, 2 sacks on the season. Those are going to be some key guys to look out for. As for the Jamestown Red and Green, 5-3 overall, 4-2 in Class AA. They have the 3 seed, and this team has been able to come up and get some big wins and be very dominant, especially on the ground attack. And you're going to have that when you have a guy like Chase Bonta. I know that nothing's official yet, but if he's not a Conley Cup finalist, I'd be very surprised because he's put on one tremendous season. as a running back. He's been a force, 20 rushing touchdowns this season. That ties him with Kayvon Pitts for Health Sciences, second in Section 6 in rushing scores. He also has 67 tackles and 7 tackles for a loss. Was a Conley Cup Player of the Week in Weeks 1 and then this past week in Week 8. Jericho Thagard, who's been great for them everywhere. 1 rushing touchdown, 1 touchdown reception, 3 interceptions, a defensive touchdown, and oh, by the way, a punt return for a touchdown. Like, he's done everything except throw the ball. So he's all over the field for this team, and he's the guy that's been able to step up when they need him to. For a guy who's also stepped up, and it's weird to say that because he's a freshman, but Lyric Richards consistently has been very good for them, and he's a freshman. 436 rushing yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, has a touchdown reception. He also has a pick 6. I'm going to keep talking more about that in just a second. Luis Diaz, 77 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, Conley Cup Player of the Week. Eli DeLeon, 26 tackles, 9 for a loss with a sack, a Week 7 Trench Trophy nominee. And then Isaiah Watson with 26 tackles, 2.5 sacks. He was a Week 3 Trench Trophy nominee. So back to the pick 6 I mentioned with the Lyric Richards.
Is that the pick 6?
It is that. But here's the other thing I noticed too. This team has 5 defensive touchdowns. I would have to double check the numbers on that, but that's got to at least put them in the top 3, if not number 1. I don't think there's any other team off the top of my head that might be close to that. Maybe Health Sciences could do that because they've had a lot of turnovers, or West Seneca West because I know Alex Quarantello has 9 interceptions on the year. I know he has at least 1 defensive touchdown, but 5 defensive touchdowns, that just tells you how great this defense is and how amazing they're going to have to be tonight against Lockport.
Yeah, these two teams played last week. I think this Jamestown team has really been on a roll ever since, they played Bennett tight a couple weeks ago, and then ever since they've been kind of taking care of business. They were off to kind of that shaky start, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had the close win over Lancaster, and they lost to Orchard Park, and we were kind of thinking, Jamestown's not really one of the teams here, but they've taken care of business ever since. They got themselves a 3 seed, and that could bode well for them. The difference, we saw what happened last night with Lancaster and Niagara Falls. That was only a touchdown game, so I'm sure Jamestown's very happy that they were able to pop up to the 3rd seed and get and come out with Lockport.
Yeah, and speaking of some of those teams you mentioned, the winner of this game will face the winner of the Orchard Park Hutch Tech game. That game will be played tomorrow at 2:00. So I'm sure Jamestown, obviously they got to win. They want to win this game. They want to head back and go face Orchard Park again, where they faced them earlier in the season. They lost on the road, but that's where they want to try to get back to. Obviously, there's more to it than that. They want to get to Highmark Stadium, but they have a good chance of facing an Orchard Park team that beat them early in the season. They want to get the revenge on them.
All right, let's move along to game number 7, our final game we're following tonight. It is brought to you by Binghamton University, and of course I moved brought to you by Binghamton University. And you have right here, this is the 3-6 game. Gowanus Pine Valley, as Jake mentioned, we saw last week they won in the last few seconds of the game against Randolph to clinch the seed. Great pass by Carter Capozzi to the corner of the end zone to make the play. Capozzi leads this team this year with nearly 1,500 passing yards, 16 touchdowns. Their leading rusher is Winter Medley Peters. We've been saying his name all year long. 846 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's also their top tackler with 78 total tackles, 6 for a loss, 2 sacks, and an interception as well. This Gowanus Pine Valley team, if you look at them, they've taken care of business when they've had to. They've had some close games. They played Newfane very tough just 2 weeks ago, 10-point game. So we'll see what they do from there. Franklinville-Elkinville 2-6 this year. A little bit of a down year after losing their first 2 games. They bounced back with wins over Allegheny Limestone and Red August Little Valley, but have struggled since. Their game against Gowanda, Jake, only 10-point decision. So they played Gowanda pretty close. Clearly, that's a matchup they like. That game was also at Gowanda, so this as same as this one. This Franklinville-Ellicottville team is led by their quarterback, Rylan Benjamin, 497 yards, 3 touchdowns passing. And on the ground, they're led by Cameron Mendel, 431 yards, 5 TDs. And on defense, Landon Learn leads the way with 34 total tackles and 3 tackles for a loss. Again, Jake, when they played 3 weeks ago, it was only a 10-point game. So you imagine Franklinville-Ellicottville, that's going to give you a little bit of confidence heading into this one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun matchup. Both teams, have done very well to get to this point into the season, and they're looking to try to move on and get to the semifinal round.
All right, Jake, why don't we look at our live scoreboard? This live scoreboard is presented by Western Division. We mentioned at the top of the show, schedule spread out this week because of Halloween. We had a couple games Thursday. We have some games Saturday. So you can see the scores from last night on your screen. Jake, what from last night, let's start there, kind of stands out to you?
Well, I'll start off, looking at some of the games that, have gone by. I mean, I would say McKinley-Clarence, to see McKinley win by 22, I think was a little bit surprising. I thought that game would be a little bit more closer. I know that's not technically on this list yet, but we also have the Chuck Funky Bowls that are happening. Hamburg beat
Sweet Home.
It was like 35-7. I think it was something like that, and I didn't think it was going to be that much of a big marginal victory for Hamburg. But everything else, I feel like, is honestly on point to, especially the way the teams have competed against each other. Lancaster and Niagara Falls, I knew was going to be a close game. I think we all knew that.
Yeah,
just considering where they were a couple weeks prior when they played each other the first time, that was a good shootout, game, and then Lancaster pulled out the win. So to see this be a little closer, tighter battle against both teams, it's not surprising.
Yeah, and especially Niagara Falls coming on late. People who were at the Lancaster game were leaving early, saying, "Hey, this one's pretty much over with 6 minutes to go." Niagara Falls is able to score with about 5 minutes left. The defense comes up with a stop. They get the ball back, and they were on the Lancaster 30-yard line, and they had a throw to the end zone. It was in the receiver's hands, and if he came up with that thing, we're talking about a tie game with no time left, 2-point conversion for Niagara Falls to win that game. So that was razor close. Obviously, Lancaster will go on to play Bennett, who has the bye this week. Other games, I was a little surprised, Southwestern Frewsburg, just how quickly they put the hamper on Medina last night. I was watching a little bit of that. I think Medina may have scored on the opening kick or their first possession real quick, but after that, it was all Southwestern Frewsburg. Newfane looked like a machine. I saw them. I think there was a running clock in the second half. So they took care of business. Eden North Collins, that game was very much back and forth with Portville the first 2.5 quarters, and then their defense kind of clamped up, and Eden North Collins pulled away. Iroquois taking care of business against South Park. I think that was kind of expected. But Thursday kind of played out the way we expected.
Yeah, I think it's, considering how the teams, who won each game on Thursday, it's not a surprise to see, who was able to pick out that win. And, like I mentioned with Lancaster, Niagara Falls, definitely a close game, but Lancaster able to pull that one out. So not too surprising there to see them move on. But we got plenty of games here tonight that are going to see who's going to move on to the semifinal round. I know we got a couple more that are happening tomorrow as well. Right now, some teams are still warming up, getting ready to play in their quarterfinal matchup, and underway through some playoffs. High school football here in Section 6. It's finally here, and this is where things can get really, really exciting.
Yeah, why don't we take, Jake, a short break? I think kickoffs should be underway right about now. So when we come back, we'll have all of the action for you. This is the Empire State EndZone.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Empire State EndZone. My name is Jacob Fyock. Alongside me is Francis Boeck. We're just getting some things showing up for us on our end as we'll have some games to look out for. These are our top 7 we are seeing yet. Nothing yet so far for the games that are being put yet up on huddle cams, but it looks like we're going to have some really good games here that'll be taking place this evening. And what's been a really fun thing so far is just been the competitiveness that all these teams have been able to do throughout the year, and now they're able to try to put those all together. A lot of these teams had some ups and downs, but a lot of these teams are also going to go ahead and decide, how the games are going to be played, what's going to happen here, and who's going to move on to the next round. As we got our top 7 games showing up, but right now just the huddle camera is just not on yet. It's also just a 2-man show. It's just Francis and myself here. Don't have that 3-man crew. Don't have Evan yet. Hopefully he'll be back next week. But we got some games that are looking to start up soon. I know believe Olean and Will South were just about to get underway as well. And I know our good man Adam Gorski is down doing the beat for his game. What game was he?
He was doing Will North and Grand Island.
Okay, so for Will North Grand Island. And it looks like Akron and Chautauqua Lake have gone and started their game. Chautauqua Lake starting off with the ball. And here's the other thing to also factor in, too, as it looks like Kenmore Western Health Sciences are about to start as well, Francis. We knew what the weather was going to be like for these 3 days, for Thursday, Friday, and tomorrow, upcoming Saturday. Very cold, very windy, and a good amount of rainfall that's going to come into play. I know the rainfall is not happening tonight throughout Western New York, but it's going to be cold. It's going to be very windy, which could affect some of these teams' game plans and how they're able to do. As why don't we go ahead and take a look at the first game that we're going to see here live. Why don't we go ahead and
there we go.
Try to look at game 1 here. Barker Royhart taking on Salamanca. We have this game broadcast live on the NFHS network, and it looks like Barker Royhart starting off with the ball and quickly on a 3rd down play. They'll go ahead and take the snap, going to take a handoff, try to use some blocking, but move it along the right hash. And what was a 3rd and 7, got them past the 35, looks like 37. Don't know how far they are away from a first down. Looks like they might be short, just about a couple of yards. They'll quickly go under center. Almost got Salamanca the jump there. Look at Salamanca all packed up on the right side. As they go and take the snap, try to go for a fullback dive, and they're very close to the first down marker. Barker Royhart saying they got it, and it is a first down. So early on, Barker Royhart testing that O-line on a 4th down well in their own territory, and they pick it up at the 39. This game here is brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. All
right, Jake. So I think I got. Why don't we pull back to the 8 screen real quick so you can see, folks, we got 5 games up. Those other 2 games, Jamestown and Gowanda, are 7:30 starts. So we'll have them in about 20 minutes or so. But let's see, Jake, where do we want to go to right now? We want to go to...
Is there something going on in Game 4?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Trying to see what that one is. Looks like it's Chautauqua Lake.
Oh, it looks like we have a touchdown in this one. It looks like Chautauqua Lake has taken the lead 7-0. That one's cut off on our big screen.
Okay, that makes
folks.
sense because Chautauqua Lake started off with the ball.
Yeah, so it's 7-0, 8:27 to go. They lead over, man, who were they facing again? Akron.
Well, they didn't take too much time, though. Looked like they might have just taken just over 3 minutes or so to try to get their first touchdown of the game. So, yeah, we do have 2 other games that will be taking place soon. Those, looks like the Jamestown game and the Gowanda Pine Valley game will all be starting at 7:30. So let's see what Akron does. They try to move it along to the outside, to the 25, and we'll get brought down in between that 25, 30-yard line. Why don't we take a look over at Game 5 just to see what the time is in that one.
Oh, it looks like only 2 minutes left in the first quarter, so that one moving along quickly.
No score so far. And from the snap, run along to the left side and quickly getting it into enemy territory. Wilson looking to move the ball, and who's also moving the ball as well, looked like it was from game number 2, as, it looks like Silver Creek Forestville doing something early on in this game.
This game number 2 brought to you by Richmond Vana LLC. They have the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today, or visit richmondvona.com.
Now from the handoff, trying to find some room up the gut and able to pick up some positive yardage. Just great job there by Silver Creek, slowly but surely going down the field. And that was, looked like that might have been Caleb Kimmerly that was there on the that was there on the rushing attack. Oh, looks like you could see the rain coming down too. Yeah, look at the lights from the top part of the screen. Looks like they were just showing the amount of rainfall that's coming down there. And along with the mix of that wind, too, that is not fun. Rolling out to the right side, looking for a pass, and this one is caught and able to get inside the 20. And quickly, Andrew Arnold, the junior running back, off the catch. And right now, Silver Creek Forestville making something of this drive early on.
All right, let's jump over to Williamsville North. Looks like the Spartans are knocking on the doorstep of the red zone. This game has no score. Handoff up the middle goes for a couple yards. We'll jump back to Randolph, so where Silver Creek is officially in the red zone.
And I believe Salamanca is also in the red zone too. We'll take a look at them in just a second. From the play, taking it right up the middle and being fearless is Silver Creek Forestville. Looked like that might have been Jake Anders on the carry. And now we go back to Salamanca Barker Royhart.
And I think Salamanca has it at the Barker Royhart 15, 2nd and 9 with about 3.5 to go in this one. This game brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private, non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today as we get a touchdown for the Warriors.
And who else? Peyton Bradley, their star man on offense, gets it done. They get the first touchdown.
So they score. Why don't we check in for a second for game number 2? Silver Creek Forestville keeps moving. They have a 3rd and 1 right now. Looks like that ball is right at the 15-yard line. We'll see the extra point here. Actually, we'll stay with Silver Creek. Looks like they're trying for a little bit of a quick tush push. Looks like that's a first down. We'll head back to Barker. Looks like Salamanca is going to line up for 2, up 6-0, 3:19 to go. We're also keeping an eye on Williamsville North. They appear to continue to be moving towards the red zone. Did they miss a 2-point conversion, Jake? Is that what happened? Or was there a timeout?
I think there was a timeout.
Let's
Looks
put
like
a
they're
timeout.
huddling up.
All right, let's
Yeah, Salamanca called timeout.
All right, let's head over to game 3. This one's still no score. 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Williamsville North with the football. Appears they have it. I'm going to call that the 20, but it looks like there was a penalty on the Spartans. Going to take them back. This game brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com.
So Salamanca scored on Barker Royhart. They're up 6-0. We'll take a look at this play real quick, and then we'll probably have to go back to Silver Creek Forestville taking on Randolph. They just got a play that went off. Looked like they got some positive yardage. And as for Will North, going downfield and incomplete. Let's head over back to game 2, and Silver Creek Forestville able to punch it in the end zone. We'll take a look here on the replay. Oh, the good old Pio, forward progress. It never ends until the progress ends, Francis.
Don't stop moving your legs. Don't play until the whistle is blown. Silver Creek gets the touchdown there. Let's check in over. Looks like Salamanca just got the 2-point conversion. So it's 8-0 Warriors over the number 1 seed out of C North, Barker Royhart. Let's actually head over to Class A, Williamsville North. Oh, I believe that was a sack, Jake.
Oh, that's huge.
Sack there for the Vikings. It is going to create, I think, a 4th and long for the Spartans. Or actually, is that going to be a turnover on down? No, I think it's going to be 4th and long. Spartans are going to punt.
Yeah, it looks like they're punting away.
Let's
head back to game 2.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go. Looks like Silver Creek Forestville is lining up to go for 2. Whoa, this is an interesting formation they have there.
From the snap, and Randolph able to eat that one up like a kid's about to eat some candy tonight, Francis.
I forgot it's Halloween. I forgot to wear a costume to work. I walked into work and I'm like, oh, wait, it's Halloween. I saw people in like wearing weird stuff. I'm like, that's a weird outfit. Oh, yeah, it's Halloween. We have game number 4, Chautauqua Lake and Akron. Looks like Chautauqua Lake is close to the red zone. They're already up 7-0. 4:30 to go and counting in the first quarter. This game brought to you by our new sponsor, Larson Orthodontics, located at 680 Fairmont Avenue in Jamestown. Their top priority is to provide the highest quality of orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable environment. They treat children and adults with braces or Invisalign, and they are a proud supporter of local student athletes. Again, that's Larson Orthodontics in Jamestown.
Why don't we head over to game 5? Looked like there might be something going on there.
That game's already in the second quarter, Jake. That game is fly. It's Jake. It's 7:20, and they're already like through the first 2 minutes in the second quarter.
That is very.
Maybe they started earlier. Just
yeah,
maybe the clock is up 1.5. You know how like on YouTube you can set the speed to like 1.5.
Yes. Yeah, but that is interesting though. They must have also had a clean quarter, too. No penalties, no nothing, just all ground attack.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do here on the ground attack. Trying to move it up towards the left side. Oh, wait, did he? Oh, yeah, no, he's able to bring it down. I thought it may have looked like a fumble at first. Saw the reaction of one player. But no, Wilson slowly but surely they're moving it down. But Will North and Grand Island, they're at the end of the first quarter.
End of the first quarter, no score. I think Grand Island, or no, did Will North get it back? We'll have to see. But that one goes in. Why don't we check in on game number 4? It is Chautauqua Lake. 3 minutes to go in the first. They're in the red zone. Looks like it's 1st and 10. Hand it off. Get maybe a couple of yards. I want to say, what's this going to, it says 2nd and short. They're going to call it. We'll head back to game 5. 8:18 now to go. Looks like Wilson just got a first down.
Yeah, and just a reminder, the winner of this game will take the winner of the Gowanda Pine Valley Franklinville Ellicottville game that's going to get started later here tonight. But I got to imagine, Francis, even though Cat Little Valley's in this situation, that's a win for them at the end of the first quarter, keeping the game scoreless.
Especially a Wilson team coming off that frustrating loss.
Right.
Is the frustration continuing?
Yeah.
That's the question. Like, rather than take it as a positive, we need to focus up. Is this Wilson second-guessing each other, getting, bickering possibly? I mean, we're not even close to the action, so we do want to say that. But, as I'm saying, the frustration continuing.
So from the snap, and able to take it right up the left side, staying up on his feet, and he gets inside the 5-yard line. This game's brought to you by SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland stands out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today.
Jake, we got to jump back to Chautauqua Lake. 1:40 to go. Looks like it's 4th and goal right now for Chautauqua Lake, trying to go up 2 scores before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, they got 90 seconds to go. They're up 7-0, looking to go 2 scores. And from that snap, rolling out to the right side, Gibbs trying to find someone, and he gets brought down. He is sacked. Let's head over back to game 5. Wilson had a play that ensued, and they got the first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, Wilson's able to score. And, Jake, going back to that play we just saw in Chautauqua Lake, it looks like Gibbs had a receiver open in the corner of the end zone. I don't know if he didn't see him or what, but that would have been an easy pass and catch. But he is instead either tries to take it himself or maybe he was looking inside and comes up short. So let's see. Let's just make sure. Yeah, it looks like Akron has the ball now. So Akron defense comes up the goal line stand, keeps it a 1-score game. Meanwhile, it's Wilson trying to go up 8-0. Trips out to the left side in this 2-point conversion. Snap. Gonna look, throw, and it is caught.
2-point conversion.
2-point conversion is good. Wilson, the Lakemen, take an 8-0 lead, 6:40 to go in the second quarter. Why don't we head to game number 3? Looks like Grand Island still with the football deep in their own end. Didn't we see a safety in last week's Will North Clarence game? Am I crazy? I might be crazy. Well, I probably am crazy. That's a whole other discussion.
I don't remember off the top of my head. But this is where you need a guy like Dominic Nucci to get a big gain for you. And Will North all over him. He might have lost yardage.
He stayed out of the end zone. That's the important thing here.
That is important.
Why don't we check back in with game number 1? Barker Royhart on the other side, on the Salamanca side of the field, on a 3rd and 5 gets minimal. This is Jake. This is going to be a interesting 4th down decision.
He only picked up a yard, so
Yeah.
they got 4 more they got to get. We might have a big play happening over in game 2. Let's take a look at that. And Randolph saying they have the ball.
Let's see if we get there. Here we go. Here's
Yeah.
the replay.
Oh, did he fumble it?
Yeah, I think there was a fumble in the play.
So Silver Creek Forestville fumbled. They got the ball back, by the way, at the Randolph's chance, but I think they fumbled it, and Randolph might have recovered.
I want to see what's going on in game number 3. Looks like 4th down for Grand Island. So let's stick with this. They're going to have to punt it out of their own end zone. Ball on their own 4, Jake, so not a ton of room for the punter.
And we're looking at game 2 as well. Looks like Randolph did recover that fumble.
Punt gets off. It's a...
Bounced right to the 35. He's going to take a chance. Oh, he's got a lot of room to the outside. There he goes. And he is in. Francis, I think that's our first punt return for a touchdown we have seen on this show.
Jake, I had a feeling.
Gets it done.
I had a feeling, Jake, we got to watch this punt. And I don't know if I was expecting that, but that certainly paid off for us.
I think that was number 11. I think you have the roster sheets of who that was. Looked like that was number 11 that had the punt return.
What, that was game number 3, right?
That was.
Yeah, number 11, Iman Manuos. He had the punt return. Manuos is their leading tackler, Jake. We mentioned that earlier.
I think he
51 total tackles, 2 interceptions on the year.
I think he also leads the team in touchdown receptions. I could be wrong though, but I know he's a big part of their passing attack. But they did get the point extra try.
He leads the team in receiving. Yes.
Yeah. So great job by him. Punt return for a touchdown. What a way to get the scoring going for Will North. They're up 7-0, and that action you saw is brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in and order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com.
All right, this one officially in the second quarter. It's Chautauqua Lake, Westfield, Brockton leading Akron 7-0. When we head back to game number 1, this one now in the second quarter. Salamanca, a big run there up the left side. He's going to take it. He's going to 30, the 40, the 20, trying to catch him. And
Didn't.
I see. It's a touchdown. Salamanca, the 4th seed out of South, going up 2 scores early in the second quarter. But wait, Jake. There's a flag.
You got to be careful of that yellow flag icon on the.
It looks like it went down to the 50.
Oh, no. It looks like that's going to get negated, and they're all going back. Score update. Will South got the first touchdown in the game. They're up 7-0 on Olean. Just over 7 minutes to go in the first. Olean has the ball.
Right. Looks like Chautauqua Lake got the ball back. They're on their own side of the field. We'll keep an eye on that one. Let's see what's going on in game number 3. Looks like Grand Island has the ball back after a kickoff. Remember, we saw a punt return for a touchdown there. Game number 5. Wilson still up 8-0. Looks like Silver Creek Forestville with the ball. 3:50 to go in the second quarter. Jake, this game continues to move. I don't know. I think that clock might be on moving a little fast there, Jake.
Are you sure they're not playing with a running clock?
I don't think so.
No, we're just joking. But it is surprising. Oh, he fumbled it. Cat Little Valley just fumbled the ball. I think Wilson just recovered it. Right at the midfield marker.
I think it looks like Silver Creek kept it. Oh, wait. I guess Wilson does
see a
have it.
signal that.
But they moved the down markers, Jake.
Yeah, now they signaled it. It is Wilson ball.
So 3:26 to go, second quarter. Wilson recovers the fumble at midfield, and they're going to try to go up 2 scores before the half ends. Let's head over to game number 1. I'm seeing some action there. Salamanca, another big run down at the 11.
Hopefully there's no flag.
I see.
Was the last time they did. Last time they had a big run, they thought they had a touchdown, but it got negated due to a penalty.
Looks like that was 28 on the run, Jake.
Yes.
Connor Seeley, who has 412 yards coming into this game. He had that big run there. So 1st and 10 inside the red zone for the Warriors. Snap, handoff, bouncing to the right side. He has some open room. He drives over some tackles. He's gonna be short. He's gonna be 2 or 3 yards short.
Yeah, he was very close to the end zone.
Other games still pretty much at midfield or on their own side of the field. So this is by far the closest one.
Wilson looks like they may have gotten inside the Cat Little Valley 40-yard line. Looks like they're trying to drive. But here, though, we're going to stay. Salamanca looking to punch it in. So from that snap, Bradley, and looked like a penalty marker came flying in as a stoppage in play.
Take a look at our 8 box. Still waiting on those 2 games below. Jamestown and Gowanda Pine Valley are starting around 7:30, so I might have to go in and do a refresh
And it's
over
our
there.
live scoreboard here. Or excuse me, our top 7 games brought to you by Dan Chacha Injury Attorneys. We'll show the live scoreboard in just a little bit. So now Bradley to the outside, going to his left, and he is in for the touchdown. And just like that, Salamanca goes up 2 scores, 14-0, pending the 2-point try.
So Salamanca, the 4 seed out of the South, looking to get the upset. Remember, we mentioned Barker Royhart hasn't been in the playoffs in a long time on their own. I think the last time they were in the playoffs, they were combined with Medina. But some new territory for this Barker Royhart team. Salamanca, I believe they've won the last 2 C sectional titles, so a little more of a seasoned team, especially with Peyton Bradley. And they have the lead early in this one. We'll check in on Wilson Silver Creek right after this 2-point attempt. Snap. Rolling to the right, throws. It is caught. And
Yeah, it looked like he got in.
He got in. Wait. They didn't put up a signal, Jake. Oh, there we go. It's good. All right, why don't we head to Game 5 where it looks like Wilson just scored. They're now up 14-0, 1:49 to go in the second quarter, lining up for a 2-point conversion. Shotgun, snap. They're going to hand it off.
Ender.
Revert.
They
fake
didn't.
rerun round.
They fooled us.
And he's in 2-point conversion, 16-0. Wilson leads, 1:49 to go in the first half. Jumping to game number 4, Class C. It's Chautauqua Lake. First and goal, or I'm sorry, call that second and goal with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Snap, and QB's going to take it himself for the touchdown. Chautauqua Lake, the Eagles, they go up 13-0, pending an extra point, 7:54 to go over Akron. So right now, Jake, early on, it is the C South teams taking care of business in the C playoffs.
You know who's also been able to do well? Kenmore West.
Whoa.
At the end of the first quarter, there's no score, though. But at the end of the first, both teams are scoreless as they head into the second.
Oh, where are you getting that from?
It's from Westside Bobby. He's down at that Health Sciences Kenmore West game.
Okay.
And it looks like Chautauqua Lake converted on the extra point. They're up 14-0 with 7:54 to go in the second quarter.
What's West Side Bobby's handle again? I should put a notifier on that. And we should give him a shout out too.
Lafayette Y2K. And the L in Lafayette's capitalized, and the Y and the K are also capitalized. Yeah, but right now, Health Sciences, Kenmore West, they're battling scoreless in the second quarter. See if there's anything else going on. So far, it looks like Will South and Olean are almost reaching the end of the first quarter. They got 1:37 to go in that one.
Shift back to our 8 screen. You can see Jamestown underway. It looks like, Gowonda's also underway too. Have to go and make that full screen. Jake, where do you want to go to next?
Why don't we take a look at game number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Island looks like they're in Will North territory. Is this the first time they're down? They've been down in this territory? Well, either way, they got 5:09 to try to make something of this drive. Try to go off a screen pass, going past the 30 and right around to the 26, maybe 27-yard line. Yeah, it looks like Jamestown's just getting started. And we got to go to game 1. Something big just happened. I think Barker Royhart just scored off a rushing touchdown. Maybe we'll take a look at the replay. But Barker Royhart gets on the board first. Didn't see who got that touchdown, though, but Barker Royhart gets a big rushing TD, cuts the lead down to 10. Here's the snap. Going for the 2-point try, and it's no good. But with 8:18 to go in the first half, Barker Royhart strikes first, but they're down by 10.
All right, Jake, why don't we take a quick break?
Let's see this replay here real
replay?
quick. Yeah, this is the replay. Oh, it's a good old QB draw right up the middle. Able to shake off some guys and turned on the burners, taking it all the way for a touchdown.
Oh, great. Man, that's a great play. All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. We're trying to help out some of our other crews going on tonight. This is the Empire State End Zone.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
All right, guys, welcome back, everyone, to the Empire State End Zone. No, your camera's not flipped around. I'm on the other side now. I'm taking a look at games that are happening here. We have a technical issue that's happening at a different game that we're broadcasting. It's none of the football games, but it's one of our soccer games we're doing. But why don't we go ahead and take a look here of our games that are happening so far. We got one that's in the action here, but all the other 6 of our games here, it actually looks like Wilson went in the halftime. We'll take a look at their score real quick. Looks like they're at the half. They're up 16-0. Why don't we go ahead and go to game 1 here. This is a 2nd down and 3 with just over 6 minutes to go. Salamanca gave up a touchdown not too long ago, but they're looking to score. Here's off a fake toss. Play action pass. Trying to find a man, and it falls incomplete. That will bring up 3rd down. Let's go ahead and go to game 3, as it looks like Grand Island just scored with about 1:44 to go in the first half, and they did. They had some trouble deep in their own zone about 5 or 6 minutes ago, but Grand Island's able to get the job done and cut this lead down to 1. I'll stay here for now, as it looks like there's no other action, red zone action going on so far. We'll take a look at that. There might be something going on in game 2, but let's see what happens with this PAT in just a second. Grand Island, Will North. This was a game that was going to be very competitive. I think a lot of people were not going to be surprised, at this score at the end of the first half. Both defenses have been very good throughout the year, but they try to go for the 2-point conversion, try to move it over towards the outside, and I don't think they got it. And with 1:44 to go, Grand Island still down though, but it is 7-6. Let's go to game 2 here. This was an interesting one. Randolph has the ball. Silver Creek was down the field looking to score, so it looks like Randolph got a 4th down goal line-esque stop. I'm going to head over to game 1 as Salamanca looking to try to get in. This was a 4th and 2 they try to go to. Let's see if they're able to pick up the 1st down. Barker Royhart's confident. They say no. They say they are stopped. Randolph saying, hold on, we got the 1st down. We'll take a look in just a second. Officials timeout. They're going to get the chain gang going. And we'll take a look at a replay here. This is one of our broadcasts that we're showing on the NFHS network. As it looks like that 1st down was right at the 20, maybe the 19. And if that's the case, looks like he picked up enough, but they want to double check and make sure. I am going to try and take a look at game number 7 in just a second. Actually, I'll take a look at it now. Looks like it is 6-0 to score. Kind of hard to tell who is winning in that one, but they got 5:48 to go there in the first quarter. Let's head back to game number 1. And it looked like they just picked up enough for a Salamanca 1st down, and they did. I'm going to get it over now to game 6 here, as it looks like Jamestown just scored. There's no score bug So I don't know what the score is there, but if you would like us to know about that, if you're at that game, we got our broadcast live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Definitely text us the score because we don't have it here on the huddle camera. I'm going to head back over to game one here in just a second as Salamanca looks like they are pushing the ball. And our good old colleague Francis is coming back here. 4:42 in this one. Salamanca, Barker Royhart 16-6, but Salamanca look like they are trying to score.
And we have a touchdown for Williamsville South. They just scored, trying to see what the score is. Another scoring update out of A. Learning that Health Sciences just scored. They now lead 8-0, 2:22 to go. Williamsville South lining up for the extra point. And it is going to be 14-0. The Billies lead Olean. 10:26 to go in the second quarter.
And this is also Guanda Pine Valley taking on Franklinville Ellicottville. I just saw the score now. Guanda Pine Valley with the ball. They're up 6-0 with just over 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Let me go ahead back over and stay on game one here. As Salamanca looking to find a way to score. It's 2nd down and 15. This game here brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today. So for Salamanca, they got a 3rd down. Looks like a still measurable amount of yards they got to go to pick up the first.
Jake and I are just playing a little musical chairs here. All right, snap, handoff, and getting a couple of yards on the play. Set up 4th and long inside the red zone. Obviously, go for it for Salamanca unless they have a good kicker here.
Here's now Bradley trying to move it out towards the right side, looking for an open man, and it's incomplete on 4th down. Turnover on downs. Good job by the Barker Royhart defense to get a stop.
I think I have Will South in there already.
Oh, thank you for that. You know, as you were out of the break there, Francis did see Grand Island score. They didn't get the 2-point conversion, so they are down now 7-6. As Barker Royhart looking to get something to start on their drive with a pass completion, just over 3 minutes to go in that one. Why don't we take a look at
4?
game?
No, it's a timeout.
Game 2.
Game 2. All right.
This is still a 6-0 game.
Yeah, and Silver Creek has the ball right now, late in the second half. Or late in the first half, I should say.
Trying to run it to the outside. They're sticking to that ground and pound attack, but as you see that clock, that's ticking away.
I wonder if they just wanted to get to the half, say, "Hey, we're up. We're gonna cut our wins here, I guess." Or instead of cut your losses, cut your wins. I know I butchered that wrong, folks. But that's okay. let's see. Let's head back to our 8 screen right now. You can see we have 7 games going tonight.
I do have the live scoreboard updated if you wanted to put that up just a second.
Yeah, why don't we do... there we go. Quick refresher. Live scoreboard right now. No score yet. Jamestown, Lockport. The half. Williamsville North up on Grand Island, 7-6. That one kind of close there. Health Sciences 8-0 late in the first half against Kenmore West. That one's a little closer than we thought. Will South kind of taking care of business against Olean, 14-0. Salamanca over Royhart. I see Barker just got a touchdown. Shockwell Lake 14-0 over Akron second quarter. 6-0. Oh, we got to update Silver Creek Forestville. That's now at the half.
Yep.
And
it did. It looked like it didn't take it though.
Gowanda and Franklinville, Elgaville. Let me see if I can.
Oh, that should be 6-0. Gowanda Pine
Let's
Valley.
do a quick refresh to check.
I didn't.
Okay, there we go. Oh, we got some of them. Why don't we check out game number 4? Looks like another timeout.
Let's go to game 1.
Game 1?
Yeah, because Barker Royhart just got the touchdown. They now cut this lead down to 4. This was originally a 16-0 start for Salamanca. Now Barker Royhart scored 12 unanswered. And now looking to make it 14 unanswered. So from the snap, trying to get some blocking to the right side, and he is stuffed. 2-point conversion's no good, but Barker Royhart not out of this one yet, folks. 16-12 is the score, just over 2 to go in the first half. We'll take a look at the replay here of that big touchdown. And much similar to the first touchdown they had, Francis. This time, though, their main ball carrier takes it up to the left side, gets some great blocking, and with a burst of speed going downfield and able to answer it with 6 points.
All right, let's head over to game number 4. It looks like Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton just scored with less than a minute to go. They lead 20-0. Looks like they're about to go for 2 or hit an extra point. But Chautauqua, the Eagles taking care of business at home. This game is brought to you by Larson Orthodontics. Larson Orthodontics, located at 680 Fairmont Avenue in Jamestown. Their top priority is to provide the highest quality of orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable environment. They treat children and adults with braces or Invisalign, and they are a proud supporter of local student athletes. As the extra point is good for Chautauqua Lake. Game number 3. Is this now in the... am I seeing this right? 4.
No, I just had it done by accident. Looks like they're still in the second
Okay, so they're
quarter, but they got 42.6 seconds left. And Grand Island got the ball back. There wasn't a lot. They had like 144 left when they missed that 2-point conversion. So a quick 3 and out. Grand Island gets it back. They're in Will North territory, looking to respond to add more points. And a team that's looking to add more points as well is Olean. They're also in the red zone, just over 7 minutes to go in that first half. They trail Bull South by 14.
Grand Island, 3rd and long. Snap. He's going to look. Throw over the middle. Dangerous, Jake. And that one is tipped incomplete. 3:48 to go. Looks like Grand Island will have to punt. I want to head over to game number 7. We haven't really checked in with Gowanda and
Frankville, Elkaville.
I see a timeout. It looks like 19 seconds left to go in the first quarter. I want to say 6-0 Gowanda.
Yeah, they're up 6-0 on them.
6-0. So that was probably when you got. Well, I was taking care when I stepped away. Let's just head over to game 6. That's the one we don't have a scoreboard for. But it looks like Jamestown just had a big play. So we'll keep an eye on that one. We'll see if we have anybody down there at that game.
Oh, a sack, scoop, fumble, touchdown by Health Sciences scored by Amari Ridgeway. They're now up on Ken West 16-0.
That was okay. So they got 2 quick touchdowns at the end of the first half there.
See if there's any other scores that came in.
I'm going to go to game number 3 real quick. It looks like Williamsville North has got the ball back. I want to say it's 28.7 seconds to go. We'll see if Will North is going to try a couple deep shots to get on the board again, or maybe they're just going to kneel it and head for the half.
What a surprise run by Joe Mess.
Looks like Will North is just content on running the clock out. We head over to game number 4.
So right now, Olean's in the red. It looks like they have set up for first and goal. They're trying to get a score.
Heading over to game number 7, brought to you by Binghamton University. Franklinville, Ellicottville with the ball on their own end. Trying to get... It might have been second and long we just saw. Or another timeout. We keep coming to this game with timeouts.
We had that a lot last week, too.
Unfortunately.
Want to thank some of our sponsors for tonight's games: Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and then Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo. Why don't we head over to game 3? I don't know if they're in a timeout or did they just end the first half?
No, they just went to the half.
Okay, so they went to the first half. So Will North's up on Grand Island 7-6.
All right. End of the half here, 22.9 to go. Looks like actually Akron is going to punt. We'll see what Chautauqua Lake wants to do with it. Ooh, that was a high snap there. That was tough to handle. That one, this punt is going to go out of bounds. So we'll check in with them in a second.
Why don't we head over to game 6. I think Jamestown might be doing something.
We have unofficially that Jamestown's up 7-0. Again, we're still waiting on a score bug. We hope we can find someone out there who has it. You know what I haven't checked?
Oh, Olean. Hang on. Olean just scored. Now they're going to go for the PAT. It's on the way. PAT is good. Will South. His lead's cut in half. They are up on Olean 14-7.
Let's head over to game number 1. Barker Reuhart with the ball. 19 seconds to go. They had a big run up the middle. It's like they have the ball in the red zone. Jake trying to finish the game off, finish off the half excitingly, and maybe take the lead.
And it looks like Chautauqua Lake. Well, this is on our end. You guys can't see it, but Chautauqua Lake looks like that game's going into the half.
Yeah, they just went into the half over there. You can see that's, I believe, a replay we're watching right now.
And Wilson,
that's in the second half already.
Yeah, they just got started the second half. They're up 16-0. I think after this play, Francis, why don't we head over to Jamestown because they are already in Lockport territory. We'll take a look at this play first by Barker Reuhart.
1st and 10 for Barker Reuhart. 19 seconds to go. Snap. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Get a couple yards.
They'll probably call timeout. They got 2 left, now 1. Now we'll take a look here at Jamestown. Looking to try to do something. They're inside Lockport's 30-yard line, right at the 28. This game here is brought to you by G&G Fitness. G&G Fitness Equipment is a full-service provider of specialty home and commercial fitness equipment with locations in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Visit livefit.com. Showing now 3 wide receiver set. Almost got Lockport to jump. They did. I thought they got back in time, but the official said, nope, you went. So that's a penalty on Lockport. We'll now move over to game number 7.
Looks like this one is now officially in the second quarter, Jake.
Yeah, Guanda Pine Valley having the ball. They're up on Franklinville, Ellicottville 6-0. This game is brought to you by Binghamton
Let's see. Looks like 1st and 10 for Gowanda. And we have a false procedure penalty. Let's head back to 6.
And there goes Jamestown. They punch it in for 6. I don't see any penalty markers down, so it looks like that one's going to go. We were told it was 7-0 unofficially, so as we know right now, this touchdown would put them up 13-0. Let's head back to game 1. See what Barker Royhart just did. They just scored. They've now dropped 18 unanswered points, and they're up 2, looking to make it 3 before the end of the half. Snaps down, kicks on the way, and the PAT is no good. But nonetheless, Barker Royhart has answered back, Francis, with 3 touchdowns unanswered.
Let's head over to game number 6. Jamestown. They're going to go for the extra point themselves. Snap. Kick is up. And it is good. So we believe Jamestown they're leading 14-0 over Lockport in Class AA action. Why don't we head up to Wilson? Second half underway. 10 minutes to go and counting. Wilson Lakeman leading 16-0. It looks like Silver Creek has the football. I want to say that's going to be a 3rd and about 6 to go from around midfield. We have we have 2 games, possibly 3 games at half right now. So not a lot of action. We believe the Health game's probably at half at this point. And I think the Olean Will South game still should be in the first half.
They got 2:50 to go in the first half.
So keep an eye on that. Looks like another timeout here.
Yeah, I'm going to check Westside Bobby's account. Yeah, and it is halftime. Health Science is up 16-0 on Ken West.
You see here. Salamanca is going to get the ball with 3 seconds to go. Let's check back in with game 7. Looks like Gowanda slowly but surely moving the football. They have the ball at the Franklinville Ellicott 45, and there is another timeout. Let's see the conclusion of the first half in Barker. Salamanca, will they try something? We'll see. Snap. They're going to toss it out to the left. Seeley, I believe, taking it to the left side. Time runs out. And that will do it for the first half. Barker Royhart, number 1 seed in North, leading Salamanca 18-6 at the half.
There's no scoreboard on that huddle stream for Jamestown, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because we were just told on one of our comment sections, we thank you, Danny Mealy, for letting us know. They're saying Jamestown's up 22-0.
Okay.
And I know I saw the one comment on our Facebook. I forgot who it was, though, but they said at the time it was 7-0 Jamestown. Max Preps was on that. So I'll take a look at it real quick and just see if we can get like an official score.
Why don't we head back to game 7? Let's get a play here from Gowanda. Short run on 1st and 10. Going to make it 2nd and long. Gowanda on the Franklinville-Ellicottville side of the field. Looks like about just under 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. This game had a 7:30 kickoff, so it's a little behind the others.
Yeah, so as we know right now, according to one of our comments on YouTube, it is 22-0. Jamestown up on Lockport.
2nd and long for Gowanda. I formation. Snap. Fakes the handoff. Capozzi has it. He's going to look. He's going to roll to his right. Trying to find something. He'll keep it. And I think he'll just maybe get a couple yards on 2nd down. Oh, they're going to give him a first, Jake. I wonder if there was a penalty or something we didn't see, or maybe he snuck around and we just couldn't tell. But, yeah, they're giving Capozzi a first down there on that run. So Gowanda is going to set up inside the 30, 1st and 10, about 10:23 to go in this first half.
And it looks like Randolph's and Silver Creek are just about to start off the third quarter.
Handoff, Gowanda, and stop for no gain on that one. That looks like Winter Bentley Peters. Let's head over to game 2. Let's catch the opening kickoff of the second half. Randolph's kicking off, so Silver Creek is going to get the ball. They have the lead as the number 5 seed in Class D.
This is big. I mean, Silver Creek has, shown some toughness throughout the season, and Randolph definitely has, but they're taking it to this Cardinal team that, is right now scoreless after the first half. So obviously adjustments are going to have to be made, but we'll see how long the Silver Creek Forestville team can keep this up. As they go ahead and boot this one away, picking up, looked like at the 21-yard line, going from left to right, tripped up though. Penalty marker comes in as he gets tackled around maybe the 28-yard line. But we'll head back over to game number 7 as Gowanda looks like they are trying to go down the field, but it's a 3rd and 11 at the 29.
Gowanda up 6-0. 9 minutes to go and counting in the second quarter. Game brought to you by Binghamton University.
After this play, we're going to have to go to game 5. I think Wilson just scored. So from the snap, toss play. Trying to move it over towards the right side. Picking up the first down. It was actually a 3rd and 5. He picks up the yardage. Looks like they got under a minute to go in that one. And
no, they got 11 minutes to go.
Oh, they got 11 minutes to go. My apologies. So Wilson, so you didn't see it on your end, but from our end, we saw they scored. They just negated it back due to a penalty, so it's still 16-0. But Wilson had a big rushing play for a touchdown, but unfortunately gets negated back due to a penalty.
Let's head over to Jamestown. Lockport has the football. We believe they're down 3 scores. Snap. Hubie's going to take it himself on 3rd and short, and I think they're going to give him the first down there.
Yeah,
a lot of movement of that pile, Jake.
Yeah, I was still going, and he picked up more than enough for a first down. Why don't we head over to game number 2 as Silver Creek Forestville just got in. It looks like they just got into close to Randolph territory, maybe right at the midfield marker.
This game brought to you by Richmond Vona. Richmond Vona LLC has the skills and experience needed to handle a full range of car accident claims, including those with multiple parties and catastrophic injuries. Call 716-671-4341 for your free consultation today or visit richmondvona.com. Gowanda is still in a timeout, but we know they're in the red zone, so we're keeping an eye on that one. We think Will North is a few minutes. The teams have arrived back on the field, so second half action is up and coming there at Williamsville North. So we'll keep an eye on that.
And it looks like Wilson might be close to the midfield marker. But for here, it's a 2nd down and 8. And Randolph just blows inside the interior of that Silver Creek O-line and gets right through.
Jake, yardage. Who's that 76 for Randolph? He looks kind of big for a Class C lineman, Jake.
Yeah. I'd have to check my notes here real quick if I can find them.
All right, 2nd and 4 for Gowanda. Actually, 2nd and goal. I formation for the Panthers. Snap. They give it to the fullback up the middle. He's got some movement, waiting for a signal. And they're going to mark him just short. So 3rd and goal from about the 1-yard line. Gowanda already up 6-0. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, looking to go up 2 scores.
So that big lineman for Randolph, that's Isaiah Dowdy, number 76, Week 2 Trench Trophy nominee.
And Jake, I think Silver Creek just completed a long pass. We're going to see the replay. Check this out.
Oh, what a nice throw downfield. Contested, too. What a play there. That was impressive. Great job by Will Dulaiba and then Andrew Arnold on the catch.
Looks like I want to see what happened here. Saw some moving here with the Lockport game. Guess maybe that pass fell incomplete. Why don't we head over to game 1. Actually, I think that's an old replay.
Yeah, they're just showing highlights of the game.
All right, that game is still at half, but right here, it's Silver Creek knocking on the doorstep of the red zone. Handoff to the right side. Oh, great run there.
And that was number 21, Max Tenamore, the senior running back. I think Will South just scored not too long ago. They're up 21-7 with 1:05 to go in the first half.
So they get sneak in a score before halftime. Oh, why don't we head to game number 7? Jake, look at this. I believe, Franklinville Elkville just came up with the big goal line stand, and they now have the ball 1st and 10 from the 10. Maybe they had a sack there, but the defense comes up strong, keeps Gowanda out of the end zone. So props to the Eagles, or the Titans keeping this one close. They now have the football. Trying to see. Why don't we head over to game number 6? Looks like maybe James or. Do you think Jamestown has the ball back? I think they do. So it might have been a turnover on downs. Again, we don't have a scoreboard here. We think Jamestown has the ball back. Trying to see where should we go next. I'm going to go to game number 5. Wilson's still up 16-0. They're driving. Oh, big run there. Oh, Jake, he's still on his feet. He's cutting back.
I think he just ran over his own teammate. Did you see that?
Yeah. He made contact with about, I think, 7 or 8 players.
If he didn't run into his teammate, I think he would have gotten inside the goal line. If he got a chance to the outside. It was very close.
5 minutes and counting in this one. Wilson up 16-0. I'm sorry, 5 minutes to go and counting in the third quarter. Wilson up 16-0, trying to add a third score before the fourth quarter. This game brought to you by SUNY Cortland. 1st and 10 for the Lakemen. Snap. QB's going to keep it. Up the middle. Oh, he breaks a tackle. And he gets about 2 or 3 yards. Jake, I think he made one move too many. If he would have went forward instead of trying to cut back, I think he would have gotten 5 or 6 yards. Instead, I think it's only about a 2 or 3 yard gain. This game brought to you by SUNY Cortland. They stand out as one of New York's top public universities, a medium-sized school that offers academic strength across 68 majors, a high quality of student life, and a degree that pays back graduates. Visit www.cortland.edu to schedule a visit today.
Looks like it's 2nd down and about 8 to go. Showing 3 wide receivers with 1 man in motion coming from the right, going to the left. So from the snap, looking to his left, not confident what he sees, trying to fire it to a man, but it falls incomplete. We'll back over to game 2, Silver Creek Forestville on a 2nd down and 7. Trying to push the line up front and able to get a good chunk of yardage to bring up a 3rd and short. Want to thank some of our sponsors tonight. Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trent's Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and then Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo.
Jake, I think this is the first drive of the second half. Look how much time has gone by, Jake.
That's what you want if you're Silver Creek Forestville. You want to kill as much time. You know Randolph can do it, but you got to punch it right back to them. And that's what this Black Knights team is doing. I don't know if they picked
Randolph
up
team that likes to run the ball themselves.
Yes, they just picked up enough for the first down.
Part of you is almost like they would have been better off not to pick it up and get a couple more seconds off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But even still, though, they took off more than half the time of the third quarter.
Yeah. I remember years ago when we started Western New York Athletics, I think it was like our first or second year, Randolph was at the stadium, and remember they had a drive in the second half. They got the ball to start the second half, as when we head over to game number 5. They got the ball to start the second half, and they went down the field. They chewed off the entire third quarter, and even about 30 seconds into the fourth quarter on just one drive.
Wow.
Obviously, they went on to win the game, but
is there a chance we can refresh that broadcast? I don't know if looked like it's still buffering. I don't know if it went on us, but
let's see what I can do there. Wilson still, I thought they were a little farther than this, to be honest.
Oh, looks like we got game 2 back up. Why don't we go ahead and go back to that?
So 2nd and goal coming up for Silver Creek. The clock's still moving, 5:20 and counting left in the third quarter. I want to go to game 7. It looks like Franklinville-Elginville is really moving the football. Oh, where'd you want to go next?
No, I think game 1 showed our live scoreboard.
Yes. Oh, no, I told them about that.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. What's going on?
That was yesterday's news.
Gotcha.
We had that on the games. All right, why don't we head back to game 2?
Yeah, this is going to look good. This is going to be huge here. Slowly but surely. But there's Carter Conley from Randolph, able to bring down the ball carrier. I'll bring up 3rd and goal.
I wonder where they're going to spot that.
Ooh, let's head over to game 6. I think something big just happened.
Game 6, this is Jamestown Lockport. Looks like a change of possession.
Okay. I don't know if Jamestown
might have been
had
a
big
punt
run
there.
or not.
I want to check in on game number 4. Okay, it looks like second half officially underway. It's Akron with the ball to start, down 20-0 over Chautauqua Lake. Let's head back to Randolph. Oh, Silver Creek. Oh, touchdown Black Knights. Number 3 takes it. Let's see if we get a replay. Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think. Are they running? Yeah, you're right. Let's check out the replay. Yeah.
Well, this is the 2-point conversion. Well, they're also down in Randolph, so they might be having some internet trouble. I know that happens sometimes.
Okay, so 14-0.
Yeah.
Silver Creek.
So they tried. So they went to number 3 for the touchdown.
Was that the touchdown or 2-point conversion?
No, they went to number 3 for the touchdown, and then they went back to him again for the 2-point conversion, but he just got it. So they're up 14-0.
So Silver Creek, Forestville. Why don't we head back to game number 7? And it looks like Franklinville-Elginville just scored. This game tied at 6. I think they just took a timeout. 1:47 left in this second quarter. It looks like Franklinville-Elginville has to decide whether to kick the extra point or go for 2. But the Titans also on an upset run in Class D. We got to head, though, to game number 4, where Akron has it deep in the run in 2nd and 18 inside the 5. Sorry, 2nd and 28. Jake, remember the last time we saw a team deep in their own end tonight? Wow, we have 60 people watching on Facebook right now, Jake.
There we go.
It's a good thing we're not on camera because they would definitely tune out. Clock is moving, so 10.5 to go. Actually, why don't we head over to Franklinville-Elginville, see what they're going to do on the 2-point try. Maryland I. Snap. Oh, he bobbled it. Hubie's going to keep it himself.
He's
in
it. The 2-point conversion's good.
Jake, do we think that was designed? I don't know.
I don't know if that would be designed.
Well, he went to the left because it looked like that run was supposed to be to the right, but he kind of picked it up and went to the left side.
I mean, I'll tell you what, if that was designed, he did a pretty good job fooling everyone.
Jake, second punt we're seeing. Punt gets off. It is picked up. Oh, it was muffed. Oh, Jake! They recover the muff punt. They're going the other way. Akron going to take it the other way. Touchdown, Tigers.
That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And what a way to get on the board. If that doesn't give you momentum, I don't know what will. That's something you got to take advantage of every time you get a chance. And Akron was able to do that.
The returner muffed the punt. He had it for a second, lost it. And Akron not only recovers it, but picks up the football and takes it all the way down. How many does that go down as like a 99? No, that doesn't go down as a 99-yard touchdown, right?
Where was that ball at?
Well, it was at, you mean the where they snapped it?
Yeah.
I think they snapped it from like the 2 or 3. So does that count from there, or does it count from where you pick up the football?
No, I think it's where the ball gets picked up.
Okay.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing like any fumble recovery or like an interception. But even still, though, regardless, I mean, that's your first touchdown in the game. That's a big one you needed to happen.
Jake, 2 punts we've shown tonight. Both of them have resulted in touchdowns in completely different fashions. 2-point conversion, no good for Akron. It's 20-6. Chautauqua Lake leads. 9:32 to go in the third quarter. I want to head to game number 6. Is there a timeout? Trying to see. Oh, I think Jamestown just scored, actually. Looks like they're lining up for an extra point. I think we last saw it was 22-0, right?
Yeah.
So this would be.
Double check again.
Okay. Trying to figure out where we want to go next. After this, why don't we head back to Barker Salamanca? Second half underway now there. Kick is good for Jamestown. We'll try to figure out that score for you. Back to Barker Royhart. They lead Salamanca 18-16. 8:49 to go as they head to a commercial. Why don't we head up to Wilson? Lakeman up 16-0. This game now officially in the fourth quarter. The 2-7 game in Class D. They lead Cattaraugus Little Valley.
Why don't we head over to game 3? I think something might be going on there. The
Vikings
scored. So we did have it. We were trying to. I know a lot of people are asking us on Facebook and YouTube what the scores are. So for Grand Island, they just scored 5:33 to go in the third. They're now up 12-7, pending either a PAT or 2-point conversion. The Wilson game we just showed you a little bit about a minute ago. They're up 16-0 in the fourth quarter.
So
as
Grand
for the
Island,
health
I had a
sciences
feeling about this, Jake.
Yeah, this is one that you had. The other one I had, Salamanca Barker Royhart. That's been an interesting one too.
That has 2-point conversion attempt for the Vikings. Snap. They're going to hand it off to the left side. 28's going to go ahead, and he's in. 2-point conversion is good for the Vikings. The 4 seed in the A2 division. They lead A1's top dog 14-7. 5:53 to go in the third. Back to Barker we go. It is the Bulls on the doorstep of the red zone. They're up 18-16 midway through this third quarter. Shotgun formation for Barker Royhart. 2nd and 7. Snap. QB's going to look. He throws to the left side. It is incomplete.
Oh, here's a scoring update from about 10 minutes ago. Health Sciences in Kenmore West, they're midway through the third quarter. Health Sciences up 22-0.
Jake, momentum has swung quickly back to Chautauqua Lake. As you can see, they just scored extra point there, 27-6. They now lead, 8:47 to go in the third quarter. Quickly answering after that Akron return touchdown off the muff punch.
And that's the last thing you want from Akron is get that momentum, and then you lose it all the way back.
First down run for Barker Royhart. We'll see the replay right now.
Oh, we might have something going on in Randolph.
We head over to game number 2.
So Randolph has the ball, and I believe Silver Creek Forestville. There's the head coach for. Is that one of the coaching staffs for Randolph? He's out there on the field. He is fired up. So here's the thing: Randolph has the ball. They were at the 21. Silver Creek Forestville just picked up a penalty. So the officials are going to be talking about this right now, but I'm curious to see where this ball is going to be. Yeah, they're moving that ball up. So Randolph's going to have a golden opportunity to get the goose egg off the board.
South Science is now leading 28-0 over Kenmore West. 4:17 to go in the third quarter there.
Looks like the head coach for Silver Creek Forestville is trying to talk to one of the officials.
I want to see what's going on in game number 1. 3rd and 9 coming up for Barker Royhart. We'll get back to Silver Creek Forestville Randolph in just a second. Snap. Looks. Throws to the right side. He's going to take it. He's going to beat one man, beat two man, and he's in. Touchdown, Barker Royhart. Oh, Jake.
The penalty just came in after.
The penalty came in, I think, kind of for a late hit there. We'll check in on the extra point in a second, but we want to head back to Randolph, see if they figured things out. Game still stopped here. Seems like they're trying to sort things out.
Oh, we might have to head over to game 5 in just a bit. I think Wilson scored. Oh, no, it's actually Silver Creek Forestville that has the ball, so they got pushed back. And only able to gain maybe about a yard or so.
And you're right, Jake. Wilson did just score. Extra point, no good, but 22-0. They lead, 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. I want to check game number 4. It looks like Akron just scored, Jake. So,
okay.
Tigers not giving up the fight just yet. They're going to line up probably to go for 2. Actually, I think it looks like they just took some kind of penalty on the conversion attempt, so I think they're back at around their 8-yard line. But going for 2, they now are. Snap. QB going to run to his right. Looking. He's going to throw across the middle, and that is incomplete. So 8:22 to go in the third quarter. Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton leads Akron 27-12. Why don't we head back to game number 2, 3rd and 6. Silver Creek is going to take it to the fourth quarter. Upset brewing down in Randolph. They lead the Cardinal 14-0 heading into the fourth quarter. Game number 1, we head back to. We just saw Barker score. Salamanca has the ball back past the midway point of the third quarter there. We'll head back to our 8th screen to show you what all is going on. Actually, why don't we check out game number 3? Jake, I think Grand Island just scored again.
Yeah, they did. They were up 14-7. They tack on 6 more.
Grand Island going for 2. Another upset bid. Gonna take it to the left side. He's in. 2-point conversion is good. Grand Island leading Williamsville North 22-7. 3:35 to go in the third quarter. Oh, that's in a commercial. Head back to game 1. Actually, why don't we see the 8 screen, see what else is going on here. We haven't checked in game number 7 in a little while. It looks like Gowanda recently scored. They lead, and it looks like 12-8 over Franklinville-Ellicottville. Franklinville-Ellicottville with the ball. This game still in the first half. I'm trying to get, I think, 8:01. I could be wrong. I'm having trouble reading that clock right now. Fourth down coming up for Franklinville-Ellicottville. Shotgun snap. QB. He looks. He's going to throw it deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looks to be a turnover on downs for actually, that will end the half. Actually, that was 1 second to go. So at the half, it is Gowanda. Pine Valley leading Franklinville-Ellicottville 12-8. That game at the half. Let's go back to game number 1. Actually, let's head back to our 8 screen. Let me see what's going on in Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton. Looks like Chautauqua Lake still up 27-12 over Akron. They now have the football, and they're inside the red zone once again. 8 minutes to go, trying to add on to their lead.
And this is that back and forth scoring that you don't want to see from Akron. Yes, they're scoring well. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But now Chautauqua Lake's been able to respond back with multiple scoring chances as well. You got to find a way to come up with these big stops and cut into this deficit. So it's 7:59 to go in that one in the third quarter. They take the snap, running it off to the left side, inside the 5 and down to around the 2, maybe 3-yard line. So we got plenty of action going on here, except for that Gowanda Pine Valley game. Looks like they're
at the
half. But for Chautauqua Lake here, from the snap, again to the left side, and they are in once again for the touchdown. I believe that is Ben Sink who gets into the end zone, and Chautauqua Lake up now 33-12 pending the PAT.
Why don't we head back to Williamsville North? It looks like the Spartans have the ball. They're down 2 scores. Weissenberg going to take it to the left side. He's going to try to run for it. Maybe gets a couple, if that. He may have lost yardage, actually. I think he did lose yardage. It was second, and I think it was third and about 6, and I think he may have lost a yard or 2, so that's going to force the Spartans to punt. 2:09 to go in the third quarter. Grand Island up 2 scores. Game brought to you by Wingnuts, located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com.
So that Jamestown game does have audio for the huddle camera.
Okay.
So I'll try to go in and out here just in case to see what happens. If anyone scores, just see what the score might be, as we're now seeing Will North punt the football away.
Let's see. It looks like Barker Royhart is on the is at the 30-yard line. So they're trying to add on their lead. They lead 24-16. Remember, this Barker Royhart team was down 2 scores early in this game.
Yeah.
They battled back, took a lead into the half, and they were able to get a touchdown in this second half. They have it 2nd and 5. QB's going to take it, keep it himself. Gets a couple yards and more. First down, Barker Royhart.
And remember, Francis, this started out as a 16-0 game for Salamanca, and since then, Barker Royhart's tacked on 24 unanswered points.
I want to see what's going on in Game 3. I think
Will North just recovered the ball.
Yeah, they just got the ball back. I think Grand Island just turned the ball over. So little life, getting some life are the Spartans, down 2 scores, 1:47 to go in the third. Let's head back to game number 1 on 1st and 10. Barker still moving the football. They got to be close to the red zone at this point. We'll see when the camera moves over. Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark it around the 18-yard line. So officially in the red zone are the Bulls, up 24-16. Let's head over to game 2. Randolph has the ball in their own end. Screen pass caught, and decent gain on first down. But Jake, look at that clock. 8 minutes to go, almost 8 minutes to go in this one. Randolph has not scored. They're down 2 scores in this one.
Yeah. They gotta go down there quickly. Seeing as how much time Silver Creek's been able to chew clock throughout the game.
Third down coming up for Barker Royhart. 4 minutes to go in the third. They're trying to go up 2 scores. Snap. And
way to stay up on your feet. Oh, he's still up on his feet. Touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
You see where that pile is, folks. There's like 5 Salamanca guys. That's where we all thought he went down. He didn't go down.
All right. Well, who's 33? Because that was one tremendous play.
Was that my game?
Yeah, that's one of yours. Well, the first time he tripped up, he was able to stay up on his feet. And then the second time, he's able to break through that pile and put it in for 6. That is just incredible running.
I don't have a 23 on my roster.
No, 33.
33. Anthony Adenoff, a senior wide receiver DB. Wow.
Well, looked pretty good for a running back on that play.
He wasn't even running. He's a wide receiver.
That's what I'm saying, though. Playing as the running back there, did very well.
Going for 2, Barker Royhart. Throw back of the end zone.
It's
incomplete.
But even still, though, that's Barker Royhart. 30 unanswered points. I'll keep saying it because you got to understand the challenge it is from that. Once you're down 2 scores, now you're taking it up a notch as you're just seeing an interception there by Silver Creek, Forestville. Big turnover for them. But for Barker Royhart, Francis, to go down 2 scores and just tack on 4 touchdowns after that is very impressive.
So Silver Creek, Forestville. You couldn't ask for anything better than this. 6:52 to go in the game, up 2 scores. They have the ball, a chance maybe not to run the clock out, but choose some time and maybe go up 3 scores late in this game.
I saw a penalty marker come in.
Going to head over to Williamsville North. We saw the Spartans get the ball a few minutes ago. They have the ball in Grand Island territory now. Weissenberg, big throw to the left side. That is going to be incomplete. We'll see if they throw a flag. 5 minutes to go, it looks like, or 50 seconds to go in the third, I think. Trying to see if there's any laundry on the field. I believe they're going to call that a penalty on the Vikings. They move it up. Let's see. Yeah, there was a flag there. See where they spot the football.
So Jamestown just scored, so I'm going to see what the score is going to be in just a second.
So at the 20-yard line, the Spartans will be 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Down 2 scores to the Vikings. Spartans, number 1 seed in Class A1, in jeopardy. Run up the middle, gets a couple yards. And we check in game number 2, flag. 6:18 to go. Silver Creek with the football. Head back to game 1. Salamanca getting close to midfield. They're down 2 scores. 3:24 to go in the third. Handoff off the middle. Big gain coming. There's Seeley up the middle. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown Salamanca. Warriors not going away.
No, they're not, and that's how you want to respond, cutting that to a 1-score lead. But we saw this something similar with Chautauqua Lake and Akron. Akron was able to get the scoring going, and then Chautauqua Lake was able to spawn back with a touchdown of their own. In fact, a couple touchdowns of their own. So if you're Salamanca, you want to make sure that this is a touchdown you get, and you try to shut down this Barker Royhart defense the rest of the way. So for the 2-point conversion, Bradley rolling out to the right, finding a man, and incomplete. So 30-22, Barker Royhart's lead cuts down to 8 with just over 3 to go in the third quarter, as this game between Grand Island and Will North is just about to get started with the fourth quarter. So I heard the Jamestown game. I heard the PA announcer. Jamestown is up on Lockport 36-0, just over a minute to go in the first half. So Jamestown up 36-0 on Lockport in the second quarter.
All right, we'll have to switch out the cables, Jake. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to give you 5.
So we're going to go ahead and switch over to game number 5, as this one is coming to a close. Wilson up 22-0, 33 seconds ago, as Will South looking like they're trying to score, and they did. Will South is able to punch it in for a touchdown against Olean. They are now up 27-7. Will South gets the PAT. They're up 28-7 with just over 6 minutes to go in the third.
Head over game 2, Silver Creek with the football, moving the ball. 3:40, more importantly, only 3:40 left in the game. Up 2 scores. 3rd and 4 here. Want to keep that clock moving, Jake.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're in a prime spot. Big game here for you. You're up 2 scores. You want to kill all that clock as much as you can. So right now, if we go ahead and call a timeout here. So we got a break in the action. Why don't we head back over to game number 3. It's at Grand Island here, up 22-7, 10.5 to go. Might not see in our end, but we got some, looks like some technical issues on our end, so we're trying to get that fixed right now. But for Grand Island, what a prime spot. You are on the road, just trying to kill some clock, and able to pick up the first down. Grand Island does.
I want to see what's going on in Game 7. I see a kickoff. Actually, that's the start of the second half, so we know that game is officially in the second half. Why don't we head to Game 1 real quick? So it looks like Salamanca just scored, Jake.
Yeah, we showed that one.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah. Barker Royhart looking to respond as they take the snap, run up the gut, and able to pick up about maybe 3 or 4 yards, tackled at the 45-yard line. So from that second down and 8, they'll take the snap, run this right up the gut, and going absolutely nowhere. Salamanca standing strong there as they got less than a minute to go in their third quarter. This game is brought to you by Damon University. Damon University is a private non-sectarian university in Amherst, New York, offering undergraduate and graduate level degrees. Visit damon.edu to schedule a tour today.
All right, let's head back to our A screen. Looks like, we mentioned Wilson. Yeah, that officially came to an end.
Sorry, let's go over to game 2. Because Silver Creek just scored again.
Silver Creek just scored again.
Incredible. They're going to look to go for 2. Stuff them that time, but nonetheless, Silver Creek, have yourself a night. On Halloween, a big passing touchdown, and they look to be en route to move on to the semifinals in Class C. That's incredible. I want to thank some of our sponsors tonight: Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trench Trophy, recognizing the top linemen in Western New York, and Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo. Got a connection issue.
I think it was the laptop that crashed. It wasn't the monitor.
So you might not see in our end. You're seeing our lovely sponsors for tonight. Can't thank them enough for helping us out, support Western New York athletics throughout this season. As we'll take a look at our top 7 games. We know that one that went final with Wilson. They'll move on to the semifinal round, as these games are brought to you by Dan Cha-Cha Injury Attorneys. I know over in Will North, we have our colleague Adam Gorski that's there for that game. We'll get a chance to talk to him once that game goes final. See if there's anything else going on here with scoring.
What do you want to head to game number 3?
Yeah, let's check over at game number 3.
So 6:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Still 22-7 Grand Island. They have the ball. It looks like, though, they're going to have to punt. Or are they going to think about going for this, Jake? What would you do?
So who's punting in this scenario? Grand Island or
Grand Island 4th and 2 right now, around at their own 40. 6:44 to go, 2-score game. I mean, it would be pretty gutsy to go for it here. But I can make a case for it.
I think you can make a case for it, considering not only has your running attack been well, but if you also look at their 2-point conversions, Francis, they've converted on 2 or 3 of them. And those are short yardage situations. So, I mean, it would be the right option. It would be the punt it. Because now you're making sure Will North has to go much farther down the field than it would be at the 40-yard line in Grand Island's territory.
Salamanca's got the ball back early in the fourth quarter, but we'll head back to Jake. Look at this. They're going to go for it. Gutsy move by the Vikings. You're going to keep it.
And they got it.
They got it.
That's huge.
Because
when you make it, you kill more clock.
You kill more, and you have the momentum, too. Because you think Will North, they're like, finally, we got him. They're going to have to punt. And you go for it, and you get it. Now, a letdown for Williamsville North, and the clock's moving, and the momentum continues to score. And gutsy move, that pays off for the Vikings as well. Why don't we head back to game number 2? Randolph has the football. Looks like 3rd and 6. They convert. Let's see it here on the replay. Yeah, I think that's Connolly taken off. Or Morrison, I believe.
Why don't we hit the game 4 real quick? I just want to see if there's a scoring update there.
Yes, there is. We might miss.
So they're in the third quarter still. It's 48-12.
Chautauqua Lakes likes these high-scoring games. Let's be honest.
We mentioned earlier they can score. We've seen it throughout the season that they're able to do it.
Let's head back to game 2. Randolph appears to be moving the ball, looking about 2 yards, but they get out of bounds to stop the clock. Randolph trying to stay alive in these Class D playoffs. They're the 4 seed, hosting number 5, Silver Creek. We haven't checked in game 7 in a while. 8:10 to go in the third quarter. Gowanda Pine Valley still leading. Appears 12-8 in this one. It's like Gowanda Pine Valley with the ball on their own end. Let's head back to 2. Throw too high on 2nd and 8. It's over to game number 1. Salamanca with the ball, 4th down. Ooh, Jake, they're going for it. 4th and about 4 on their own end.
Oh, they tried to jump him.
No,
they tried to jump him there, and now let's see
second.
what they do. Now they got motion a man. So 4th down and 4, shovel pass, able to hold on to it. Oh, there's
short. There is a flag.
He's short, but there's a penalty marker down, and
I wonder if that's going to be holding.
That's going to be on the offense. That was thrown as soon as the wide receivers came up to attempt any blocking.
Head back to game 2. Handoff up the middle. Nice run there on 3rd down. Let's see if they give them the first. It's going to be awfully close. They're going to mark them short. They're about a half yard short, Jake. So 4th and 1. Another 4th down attempt. We've had 3 in a row pretty much. Snap. They're going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw it downfield looking for it all.
It's incomplete.
And it's incomplete. You know what? I get that. You're down 3 scores. No point in trying to run for 2 just to keep the drive alive. You need points, but
yeah,
that'll cost them pretty much the game.
Well, how about that, though? Silver Creek Forestville. I don't know how many people they had on their radar that can come up and defeat a team like Randolph, especially on the road, but they're going to get the job here tonight, and they should be very proud of themselves picking up that win.
All right, let's head over back to Game 3. Haven't been there in a little while. Grand Island, we saw they were the first ones to convert on a gutsy 4th down. They have kept the ball and are now, let's see, inside the red zone. I'm sorry, they're just outside of the red zone. Let's see, maybe the 23-yard line. 3:49 to go. They lead 22-7 in this Class A quarterfinal. Grand Island, the 4 seed out of the 4 South, looking to upset the Class A1 division winner.
And as for Will South Olean, Will South's up on them 35-14, 3:38 to go in the third.
35-14, you said?
Yeah. And this game here between Grand Island and Will North's brought to you by Wingnuts Buffalo. Located near the Buffalo Airport at 4600 Genesee Street. Dine in or order for takeout. Open Monday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit wingnutsbuffalo.com. So for Grand Island, one man in motion, taking that snap, just going to run this ball to the right side and pick up some yardage past the 20 and down officially at the 19. We'll go back over to Gwanda Pine Valley. Take it on Franklinville, Ellicottville. 5:30 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, if you're Gwanda Pine Valley, you just want to get another score going. You don't mind that clock moving as well. So you see this game brought to you by Binghamton University. We're seeing a lot of methodical drives on this quarterfinal weekend here in Section 6.
Well, we're going to have to go to game 1 because it is 4th down.
Another 4th down.
Another one. Another one.
4th and about
4.
2. No, 2.
Is it 2?
I'm counting 2 over there. If you look at the sideline, that only looks like 2 to me.
This
Maybe
is going to
3.
be big. So from the snap, they tried to fake it. What a tackle.
Oh, did he get it though?
Might be short.
They're going to have to measure this, Jake.
I don't see.
Let's see the replay.
Yeah,
this is a classic West and East play where they do the inside handoff.
You have the roster sheet. I want to know who 67 is, because that was one of the biggest tackles that was made all game by that Salamanca defense.
Payson Hardy, Jake. He's a sophomore.
Well, what a way for your sophomore, who's now on the offensive line, so he plays both ways.
And they gave the ball to Salamanca,
so they got the stop. Great job there by that man.
I want to check out game number 3. Grand Island still with the football. Right now it's 1st and 10. Clock moving, 3:30 to go and counting, up still 22-7. Head back to game number 1. Salamanca down a touchdown. Their own end. 1st down. They run up the middle, get a couple yards. 6:30 to go and counting.
And I want to go back to real quick.
Actually,
Game 2 for a second, just to see that this game officially went final. Silver Creek Forestville Black Knights on the road pick up a 20-0 victory over Randolph. They take on the 1-seeded Newfane squad next Friday at 7.
Jake, I think we have another touchdown. Yes, we do. Grand Island scores with 3 minutes to go. They go up. I think this is going to be 28-7, pending the extra point or 2-point conversion. So another upset brewing here on quarterfinal weekend. Let's check out, though, game number 1. Oh, we missed something, Jake.
We did. Salamanca had the ball. Oh, Barker Royhart just scored.
Yeah, Barker Royhart just scored. Hopefully
we're gonna have that might have been a defensive touchdown.
Hopefully they show a replay. I think they're lining up in Polecat right now. Or are they just going to go for the extra point? No, they're just going to line up for the extra point.
You sounded really disappointed in that.
I know. I love me some polecat. At least that's what I called it at Kenmore East. When you'd have the line move over to the left side.
So the extra point's good. They're up 37-22. We're going to take a look at this replay. This was a defensive touchdown. Let's see how this went. So it went from a snap, handoff to the ball carrier, who ended up... Oh, he stripped it from the ball carrier. Yoinked. I'll take it. Thank you very much. And they score a touchdown.
Carter Deer Sarkeesian with the strip and score. Doesn't get much better than that.
Those are my favorite type of fumbles. I guess it's technically a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
It's both, but those are the type I love. I love when you get
You
a
don't
defender.
you don't like butt fumbles?
Well, I mean, those are always funny. But that's just straight up strength on strength. You just snagging that football away from the ball carrier, taking it yourself, and to add a little cherry on the top, I'm going to take this in for a touchdown.
All right, we're hearing end of the third quarter, Jamestown's up 42-0 over Lockport. And also into the third quarter, Williamsville South 35-14 over Olean. Head over to game number 1. Let's see, Barkers, if they're going to try for an extra point here. At least 2 games already in the books tonight. And 2, I guess they gave him 1 point.
So it said 37-22. It was wrong.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be 36-22, and they went for the 2 and got it.
Okay, so Barker, Roy Hart pushes their lead back to 2 touchdowns, 6 minutes to go. Why don't we head over to Chautauqua Lake? Eagles add another touchdown, 56-12. They lead over Akron. Still 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. This game brought to you by Larson Orthodontics. Larson Orthodontics, located at 680 Fairmont Avenue in Jamestown. Their top priorities to provide the highest quality of orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable environment. They treat children and adults with braces or Invisalign. They are a proud supporter of local student athletes. Why don't we head over to game 3? Grand Island trying to close out the upset. I think they're trying to figure out, I believe 3:01 was what the time was when Grand Island scored.
Do you see this?
Oh my
Look
goodness.
where they're kicking off.
Oh,
so there had
kickoff.
There would have had to have been a couple of penalties on Will North that happened before we came back to this broadcast, because Grand Island's kicking the ball at Will North's 30-yard line.
I'm going to text Adam right now.
He should just kick it through the uprights. You might.
I don't think it counts for 3 though. That would be.
It
cool
should though. That'd be pretty cool if it did. I'm not gonna lie, because you don't see this happen very often. All right, we'll boot this one off and hits to the back of the fence.
Do you try
for
to
a
squib it
touchback.
there? I think I would try to squib it there. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Or an onside, heck.
I mean, yeah, because it's got to go at least 10 yards.
Got to go 10 yards.
And if they recover it, they have it at what? Their own 20?
Yeah.
Maybe 15? Yeah, no, that was a fair point. But they're also up 21-3 to go in this one. They're probably confident, that they have this game in the bag.
I want to check out Game 7. We haven't spent a ton of time there.
I think they just scored.
Yeah,
I think Wanda Pine Valley scored.
I think you're right. Gowanda Pine Valley just scored. I'm having trouble reading that scoreboard.
That might be,
I think
18-8. Yeah.
18-8. Franklinville, Ellicottville with the ball. 2:20 to go and counting in the third quarter. Remember, this game started at 7:30. I actually think Jamestown Lockport is actually at the half. We were having some bad info, I think.
Well, they might be starting it soon.
Adam said there was at least 2 unsportsmanlike penalties. At least 2.
Okay. That makes sense.
Something like that would have to happen there. Why don't we head back to game 1? Less than 5 minutes to go there.
Still no update yet from Health Sciences. Last time I saw, they were up 28-0, still in the third. They're probably in the fourth now, but I don't know if we have an update on that score.
Wow,
Okay.
Barker, Roy.
All right.
They found the momentum,
They
and now they're
found
not
it
giving
again.
up.
Now they got it again. This is another defensive touchdown.
Hey, well, I mean, what wasn't your stat of the night coming in? Was it who was it? Had 5.
Oh, that was Jamestown.
Jamestown 5.
But
maybe Barker's trying to match. They heard you, and they're like, "Oh wait, we can't let that be. We have."
okay,
to get
we're
that."
gonna have to see what happened here. I do apologize, folks. We're on our laptops, we're on our phones, looking at scoring updates. We're looking at other games around Section 6, so we missed this one. We apologize about that. But Barker Royhart.
Oh no!
Putting it to Salamanca. Well, I didn't see what happened.
I think. Well, we were. I think the viewers caught it. I think
Yeah, the viewers caught it.
we were looking down
We
at
didn't.
laptops.
So they got the 2-point conversion. They're up 24 on Salamanca. They put the final nail in the coffin. We got to see the replay though, Francis.
Oh, you're right.
What happened? What happened with us? Okay, so Barker
He gets the
Royhart did
fullback.
get the ball back. They go to their fullback and take it in for 6. That
Kind of slipped through there. I don't think Salamanca realized that he had the football.
yeah.
I want to go back to game 3. 2:05 and counting. I think Will North has the football, but right now it's 4th and long. They're going to have to punt it away. And that should pretty much be the final nail in the coffin for the Spartans. Number 1 seed, Class A Division I winners going down. Jake, we have a final. No surprise here with this final score. Health Sciences defeats Kenmore West 42-0. The number 1 seed in Class A2 advances to the semifinals. So we wait here. This appears to be a 4th down. I know it says 3rd on the scoreboard, but I'm seeing a 4th down marker and a timeout called. Why don't we head to game number 4? This one. Oh, guess what, Jake? Shockwell Lake scored again. 63-12. They lead 9 minutes to go in this one.
And both South and Olean are in the fourth quarter. They're up 35-14.
Oh, and this one getting a little bit ugly there.
Why don't we head over to
flaring.
game 7?
Yeah, why don't we head to game
We
7?
might just had a big play there.
Oh, and it looks like Franklinville-Elginville just scored.
So that would be 18-16?
18-16, 1:11 to go in the third quarter. This one tight in Class D. This is the 3-6 game there. This game brought to you by Binghamton University.
And Will South looks like they just tacked on another score. We'll get the official score in just a second.
Williamsville North getting ready to punt.
Oh, I did see a final. Health Sciences
Yeah, we had that.
defeated Ken West 42-0.
Yep. You see, Williamsville North punts it away. Grand Island 109 away from punching their ticket to the semifinals. And I believe I'm going to pull up the brackets real quick. This bracket's on Western New York Athletics. Let's check out Class A here. Williamsville North, Grand Island. They're going to take on McKinley, Jake. A game we just saw last week, right?
Yeah, and that was a very fun game that went back and forth up until McKinley pulled away at the end. So they're going to get a rematch. We're going to have a couple of rematches, I think, in these playoff brackets down the stretch.
Where should we go next? Why don't we go game 1?
I think we should go to game 7.
Game 7?
Yeah,
we probably need to spend more time there.
Oh, lost the helmet there. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Looks like that is a 4th down in Gowanda Pine Valley, having it at Franklinville-Ellicottville's 35-yard line. So a nice little fun game here between both teams. So this game is brought to you by Binghamton University. Also like to thank some of our sponsors in Pathfinder College Planning, 510 Toy Shop and Sports Cards, The Mental Match with Sam Recco, Canisius High School, St. Joseph's Collegiate Institute, St. Francis High School, Trent's Trophy, recognizing the top lineman in Western New York, and then Lewis & Lewis PC, located at 37 Franklin Street in Buffalo. As we get a pass here that is caught at the 25-yard line, and I think they just got enough. Gowanda Pine Valley moves the chains on a 4th down and 9.
Wow. This one is very tight. Why don't we head over to game 3? You can see the handshake. Grand Island officially pulling off the upset as the 4 seed from 4 South. They defeat the Class A1 division winner, Williamsville North. They punch their ticket to semifinals. They'll take on McKinley next week. That's another final. I think we have what? This is our 4th final of the night, I believe. 4th or 5th of the night. Why don't we check in on game number 4, Chautauqua Lake and Cattaraugus Little Valley, 63-12 right now. 7:44 to go and counting in the game. So Chautauqua Lake wrapping that one up. We'll stick here with this play. Handoff. That goes for no gain. Head back to game number 1 at Salamanca against Barker. Royhart 46-22. Barker Royhart leads Salamanca. 3 minutes to go. So Barker Royhart looking to move on to looking to close this one out. Snap. He's going to take it. When we head back to game number 7, that's Gowanda Pine Valley with the football. They're up by 2 to start this 4th quarter. Ball at the 25-yard line. Capozzi catches. He takes it to the right side. He's going in. Touchdown Panthers. Gowanda Pine Valley adds on to their lead early in this 4th quarter.
Their star quarterback for the Panthers getting the job done, puts his teams on the back on that play, and able to extend it now to at least an 8-point lead. But they can go up 2 here. We'll see what they do if they go for a PAT or a 2-point conversion.
Try to get our...
And it looks like they went for the 2-point conversion and got it. So with 11:52 to go in this game, Gowanda Pine Valley goes up on Franklinville-Ellicottville 26-16.
Where do we want to go to? Why don't we want to head over to game number 4? Yeah, why don't we do that? Chautauqua Lake trying to punch in once again. 5:20 to go in this one. Snap and stop there by the Akron defense. Jake, maybe after this drive we can check on the scoreboard, live scoreboard. Yeah. We'll have those update. Not many games tonight. Again, quarterfinals, and they're spread out between the 3 days here. So only really 7 games we have. I think there were 2 others going on. They're the Health Sciences Ken West, which did not have a huddle cam, and then the Will South only end game, which we were not allowed to show. Run to the right side, and he comes up just short. Why don't we head back to Gowanda for a quick second? Franklinville, Ellicottville with the football. It looks like they're going to get it at around... Let's see. They're going to get on the Gowanda side, so it must have been a nice return there. They're down 26-16 in this one. Class D affair. We saw already in Class D, Silver Creek come up with the upset win over Randolph. Last night, Newfane throttled Allegheny Limestone to move on to the next round. Flag on the play. Let's head back to game 4. And we have another touchdown for Chautauqua Lake. So Chautauqua Lake, I believe that's going to be 10 touchdowns for them tonight.
How many points? What's the record for most points scored in a playoff game in Section 6? Because they're either there or they're very close.
They're probably close. I don't know if they're there yet. I'm sure somebody tried 80 at one point.
We need Joe Kraus for this.
Yeah.
He would know.
Kick is up and is good. So officially a 70 burger for Chautauqua Lake. Westfield Brockton, they lead Akron 70-12, 3:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Back to Gowanda we go. 11:30 to go in the game. Franklinville, Ellicottville down by 10. We have a Jamestown scoring update. I know we haven't been able to go here much because there's no scoreboard.
Oh, we'll find out after this one. Jamestown punching it in. I'll check on my phone real quick to see what the score is because they have audio. I don't know if we can't play audio on here for it, but I can listen to it off my phone and see what the score is.
We get... All right, I'm playing. Let me see if I can get us so we can hear the audio from it.
You can hear the fans too, so I wouldn't do that.
Oh,
yeah.
Then we're not going to do that.
In case there's some unnecessary words.
So extra point right now for Jamestown Lockport. Kick is up and it is good. We'll head back to Gowanda Pine Valley. Franklinville, Ellicottville. Looks like they just had a bit of a loss in play. Is that fourth down? Let's see. Hold on.
Okay, so 8:31 to go in the Jamestown Lockport game in the third quarter.
In the third quarter?
Yep, they're up 49-0.
Well, I think maybe they're trying to have a little competition with Chautauqua Lake.
Maybe.
All right, so 4th and about 3 for Franklinville, Ellicottville down 10. Let's see if they go for it. Oh, ball is dropped. It's picked up, though. He's going to take it for the first down. Wow, some heroics. Second time we've seen that. Snap was bobbled, Jake. Quarterback picked it up and is able to take it for the first down. I think we saw that in I want to say the Salamanca quarterback did that, or maybe the Barker quarterback did that earlier. Speaking of Barker, it looks like Salamanca just scored could be too little too late as they're now down 16 with 53 seconds to go in the game. Onside kick, I'm assuming, upcoming for Salamanca. We'll head back to Game 7. Second and long, looks like Franklinville lost some yardage on that first down play. Why don't we go check out, see how this onside kick goes, and then we'll have a look at our live scoreboard. Onside kick, and I think he touched it too early, Jake. Salamanca player, I believe, ball has to go 10 yards. Salamanca player, I think, touched it around maybe 7 or 8 yards. So it'll be Barker football with 53 seconds to go. They'll be able to close out this one. Why don't we head back to Game 7? Franklinville, Ellicottville, Maryland I down 10 from the 35. He's going to throw. He's going to try to get out of the pocket.
He got hit hard.
Yeah, he got hit hard before he could get past the line of scrimmage. It's going to set up, I think, is that going to set up fourth down? Believe so.
Yeah, it's going to be fourth down at about 9. We'll stay here on this play just to see what happens.
Yeah, is the scoreboard going to be ready after this play, Jake?
Oh, yeah, scoreboard's all set. Unless they get a touchdown here. It looks like they called timeout. So why don't we take a look at the scoreboard here? I know some games aren't final yet, but some are in the fourth quarter. As this live scoreboard's brought to you by Western Division. Western Division, home of the great rate. So we'll start off in Class AA. Last night, Lancaster edges out Niagara Falls 20-14. Jamestown is up big on Lockport. Last time I checked, just over 8.5 to go in the third. They're up 49-0. And then we have Orchard Park and Hutchtack playing tomorrow at 2. Down in Class A, McKinley defeats Clarence 36-14 on Thursday. And then we have Grand Island on the road, picking up a big 22-7 win over Williamsville North. And Health Sciences shutting out Kenmore West 42-0. And then Willys West Seneca West, that game will take place tomorrow at 1. In Class B, Iroquois and South Park. Iroquois wins 35-13 on Thursday. Will South is battling out with Olean 42-14. They have just under 4 minutes to go in that game. And then Lackawanna and Pioneer face each other tomorrow, along with West Seneca East and Depew. In Class C, well, hang on a second.
Why don't we check in real quick before we... fourth down upcoming for Franklinville Ellicottville, 4th and 14, down 10, 7:44 to go. Snap. He's going to look. He's going to roll out to his right.
Want to evade it.
He's going to throw it deep and incomplete, nearly picked off.
And that's an unfortunate thing where the receiver has to become the defender and try to deflect that. And unfortunately, that fell.
Well, it was fourth down anyway, so it looks like I think the defender may have smartly dropped that once he realized it's fourth down. I don't need to intercept this thing.
Well, there's also 7.5 to go in the game, and Franklinville Ellicottville just has a turnover on downs.
Yeah.
Why don't we head back to the scoreboard real quick? We'll go back to the remaining 2 classes. In Class C, 2 games went final Thursday. Southwestern Frewsburg beat Medina 48-7. Eden North Collins defeats Portville 43-28. Barker Royhart and Salamanca, we say it's in the fourth quarter. We see it on our screens that it went final 46-30. Barker Royhart gets the win. Chautauqua Lake, Westfield Brockton, they'll get the win, but they're still battling it out 70-12 against Akron. In Class D, Newfane beat Allegheny Limestone Hinsdale 56-0 on Thursday. And then Randolph in Silver Creek Forestville. Big upset one, I would say. Silver Creek Forestville picks it up 20-0 over Randolph. Wilson shuts out Cattaraugus Little Valley 22-0. And in Gowanda Pine Valley, Franklinville Ellicottville, the game you just saw about a minute ago, they're in the fourth quarter. Gowanda Pine Valley's up 26-16.
All right, when we head back to game to Gowanda Pine Valley Gowanda has the ball. I formation, second down. Handoff up the middle, first down. A little more for the Panthers. 7:15 to go and counting. 7:17 to go and counting. They're up by 10, 26-16. We'll show you some brackets updated from last night. I didn't have the time to update yet tonight, or the matchups that have been gone filed tonight, but I'll try to get those in before the clock strikes midnight tonight and get that up on our website. But we can at least show you what was from last night. We can kind of help you imagine to fill in the blanks. But right now it's 1st and 10 for Gowanda Pine Valley from just past midfield. Snap, handoff up the middle, and a couple tough yards. It's about, we'll call that 8, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
2nd and 2 coming up, 6:30 to go and counting for Gowanda Pine Valley as we see an injured player. So why don't we head to game number 4, 55.2 seconds to go. Chautauqua Lake still leads 70-12. Timeout here. This game's been a little bit of a timeout for some time.
Well, if you have the opportunity right now, why don't we look at the Class C bracket just to see who Chautauqua Lake's going to go up against? We'll go ahead and scroll down to the brackets because they'll be the one picking up the win here. And they're going to face Barker Royhart. So Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton taking on Barker Royhart. I would have to check to see if they played each other earlier in the season. I'm going to say
probably not.
No, because one's in Class C North, one's in Class C South.
Why don't we head over, though, to 7. Deep throw by Capozzi, incomplete. That was 2nd and short, so it'll bring up 3rd and 2. 6:10 to go. 10-point game. Gowanda leads. Yeah, take it back to the brackets. Let's get it back down there.
Yeah, they've not played each other at all this season yet. Man, what a game that's going to be. Do you think they matched the energy of Eden North Collins against Maritime Tapestry earlier this season?
Wait, what are you saying?
So, Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton's taking on Barker Royhart. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but those are 2 of the top 10 high-scoring offenses in Section 6.
Well, yeah, Eden is...
And then you have Eden. I'm just saying, can you get those type of vibes where they could possibly have a big shootout like that?
Yeah.
Probably not that type of score, but I would say relatively close to it.
Something like that. Let me just send it back to Gowanda Pine Valley. Chautauqua Lake is still in a timeout. Looks like they gave Gowanda Pine Valley a first down. Let's head back to Chautauqua Lake. Really only 3 games still in action. We know Jamestown has a giant lead over Lockport. We don't have a scoreboard there, so we're not able to go to that as much. But 52.5 seconds to go, 70-12. Chautauqua Lake's leads. Like Akron has the ball. Final drive of the season for the Tigers. Let's head back to 7 for a second. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. And a little bit loss of about 1.5 yards, maybe a half yard for Gowanda Pine Valley on first down. A little over 5 minutes to go. Still a 10-point lead for Gowanda. Let's head back to 4. Clock now officially running. Final 30 seconds of the season for the Akron Tigers. Snap. They're going to hand it off to their big man. That's 73. 73 taking the run, but he is taken down, or 72, I'm sorry, taken down for a loss on second down. 15 seconds to go. They're going to try to line up for one more play. 8 seconds to go. And let's see. Oh, and they throw a flag. Clock struck 0. Flag was thrown, but the teams are going to line up for handshakes. That will do it. So it's a final. Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton punches their ticket. First year under new head coach Ty Harper punches their ticket to the semifinals, 70-12 winners over Akron in this one.
And we know next week for them, Class C semifinals, Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton will take on Barker Royhart.
Second and 10, Gowanda, handoff up the middle, first down and more, refusing to go down, and that is going to put Gowanda Pine Valley well inside the red zone. What are we on ahead to 6?
Yeah.
And looked like Jamestown might have just scored again.
Yeah, Jamestown's been all over this Lockport team. They've been able to take care of business, and looks like they're going to be en route to moving on to the semifinals.
After this, we'll head back to Gowanda Pine Valley.
Here's a snap. The kick's on the way, and the PAT is good.
Back to Gowanda Pine Valley. 4:40 and counting. Do we see a timeout here, or at least officials timeout? Gowanda Pine Valley, I'm sure they're content to choose some time off the clock and get another score, make this 3-score game late in this fourth quarter. No rush to score, I imagine. Snap. Handoff up the middle. Gets about 3 or 4 yards. Going to set up second and about, let's see, when the camera pans. Hope you guys are enjoying us tonight on this Section 6 playoff quarterfinal edition of the Empire State EndZone. Possibly season finale. We're going to have to make some decisions over the next few days, whether we do the show for the semifinals. Folks, if you're really enjoying it, then you better leave a comment or let Frank Wolf know. We're still deciding what to do for next week. If we're not doing this, we're going to go out to one of the semifinal games next week from tonight. Handoff, I think that's Mentley Peters up the middle. He gets stopped for a minimal gain, maybe not anything. It's going to set up third and about medium, 3:20 and counting to go in the fourth quarter. Again, Gowanda up 10 in this one.
And Gowanda's doing their thing. They want to kill clock. You stopped Franklinville-Ellicottville on the previous drive, turnover on downs, and you just got to kill clock and make sure that they don't get as much time as they can to go down the field and try to score right away.
I believe this is going to be 3rd and 7. I formation for Gowanda. Snap. Going to fake it. Capozzi's going to keep it to the outside. He's going to take it in. Touchdown, Gowanda. The Panthers go up. I think they're going to go up and take the lead. I'm sorry. 32-16. 2:48 to go in this one. Gowanda Pine Valley, the 3 seed in Class D. Newfane, the 1 seed, won last night. The 2 seed Wilson won earlier. That was our first game to wrap up. And then the 3 seed, Gowanda's the 3 seed. And then it was Silver Creek Forestville was the 5 seed, getting the upset, defeating Randolph earlier tonight as well. So if Gowanda holds on, they'll take on Wilson next week. 2-point conversion is good. So it is 34-16. Gowanda Pine Valley leads. 2:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Let's head to the brackets right now. Still some games we played tomorrow. So Class AA, Bennett got the bye. They're going to be taking on Lancaster, who won last night 20-14 over Niagara Falls. Jamestown is in control right now over Lockport. They will face the winner of Orchard Park and Hutch Tech. That game will be tomorrow at Orchard Park. Class A, Grand Island pulled off the upset against Williamsville North. They will take on McKinley, who won last night. Health Sciences, we know, won. They will take on the winner of West Seneca West and Williamsville East tomorrow. That game, 1 o'clock on the NFHS network. Class B, we just got word in. Williamsville South wins 42-20 over Olean. They punch their ticket to the next round. They will take on the winner of Lackawanna Pioneer. That game is tomorrow. Iroquois defeated South Park yesterday. They will take on the winner of a matchup tomorrow night, West Seneca East and Depew. Class C, we've been talking a lot about. Barker Royhart gets the win tonight over Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton, who just put up a 70-burger. And then on the other side of the bracket, Southwestern Frewsburg will take on Eden North Collins, both of those teams winning their respective games last night. We mentioned just a few moments ago, Newfane won last night. Silver Creek Forestville won in an upset tonight. They will head to Newfane. Gowanda Pine Valley, 248 away from winning their game, punching their ticket to the next round. They will take on Wilson, who won their game earlier against Cattaraugus Little Valley. So that's a look at your brackets. Why don't we head back to Game 7? Franklinville, Ellicottville with the ball. Their own 45, 2:41 to go. They're down 34-16, so a tough hill to climb for Chautauqua, for Franklinville, Ellicottville. Really 1 of 2 games left in action. The other game is Jamestown, Lockport. We don't have a scoreboard for it. We know Jamestown is leading by several touchdowns. Looks like that play was nearly picked off, Jake.
Yeah, good defense there by Gowanda Pine Valley, just trying to shut down the pass defenses. We see on our end that Lockport still trying to give it their all. Looks like they had a nice play that puts them at the midfield marker. But I'll tell you what, give this Gowanda Pine Valley team a ton of credit. They knew that they had to step up and do the plays that they needed to in order to pick up this win against Franklinville Ellicottville. Even though the record says one thing, they play like it's not, play differently. So they had to step up. They knew they had to do it well in a big playoff game, and they do it here tonight. And as they just picked up the sack to make it now a 3rd and very, very long.
Clock running 2:20 and counting left in this one.
Anything up on Gorski?
Yeah. Let me text him.
So might be able to get him just to talk about what's been going on in that game.
Yeah, he was at one of the upsets of the night.
Yeah, he was at
2 upsets tonight as we see a timeout here.
Yeah, he was at the Grand Island Will North game. Let me go ahead and over to Game 6. That's going to be Lockport and Jamestown. As Lockport looks trying to complete a catch here and able to complete it and get stopped right at the 30-yard line. Jamestown looking like they're in their green uniforms with the white helmets, white pants. I will say Jamestown the green jerseys are a nice touch. Not so many people can pull off, I would say, green jerseys. I feel like it's kind of hard to do. Kind of like with yellow jerseys. I feel like that's kind of hard to do as your main, and Jamestown has a nice look there.
Jake, we are going to pull in Adam Gorski right now. He was... Let me see if I can... Here we go. We're joined by Adam Gorski, and Adam was at one of the upsets of the night, 4-seeded Grand Island in A2, defeating number 1 seed Williamsville North out of A1. Adam, one of the upsets of the night. How did the Vikings pull this one off?
Well, Fraser, it was a lot of the run game. It was Dom Nucci and their sophomore quarterback, Anthony Mancioni, really doing a lot of the damage. Mancioni, I believe, finished with 3 total touchdowns, 2 on the ground. Nucci added a touchdown on the ground. And then defensively as well. held the North offense to no points. North's only touchdown came on a punt return score. So just, a lot of like long, grinding type of drives for GI. I think they had at least 2 drives over 7 minutes, maybe 3, and the third one was close to 6 minutes. Just kept the ball, killed the clock a lot, and just won up front in the trenches.
Adam Gorski joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply hotline. He was at that Grand Island Will North game. Adam, it looked like that after that punt return for a touchdown, we saw that live. Williamsville North had the momentum. How exactly did Grand Island get it back?
GI's offense actually went 3 and out their first 2 series, and it really was that drive after the punt return that kind of settled them down and, got the offense clicking a little bit. I think that was their first drive that really, they kind of marched down the field, used the run game, had a couple timely passes, and I think it was Mantione to Aiden Galligan, the tight end, on a passing touchdown that ended up getting them the score. But, it really was, I think just really being able to establish the run, being able to really get a better push up front, and they managed to carry that momentum into the second half, scoring on their first 2 drives as well.
Adam, I know I texted you about it. We saw a Grand Island kickoff. I think it was after their 3rd touchdown or maybe 4th that was on the Will North 20. What was the sequence of events that led to that?
Yeah. I couldn't tell exactly. I know that there was one unsportsmanlike on Will North for a late tackle, and then I think there was another one for maybe some players, John, and if it was on the 20, it was probably a third, maybe from some argument from the bench or some more players, John. But yeah, I can't say I've seen that in the games I've covered over the years. I know Dom Nucci, the kicker. I mean, he does it all. He kicks for him too. He was really trying to hit it through the goalpost on the kickoffs, but I think he just came up short.
Adam, did you have a chance to talk to Coach Santori or any of the Grand Island players after the game?
Yeah, I did. It was funny. It was kind of mixed messaging. Santorio, when we were talking to him about, this technically, yes, it is a, 4 seed beating the 1 or 8 beating the 1, however you want to phrase it. It is technically an upset, but he kind of downplayed it. He was just saying, once it kind of gets to this playoff time of year, any team can really go out and win any game. It's really just a matter of playing your best ball this time of year. And we also talked to Dom Nucci after the game, the 4-year starter running back, and he was a little bit more, loud and, I don't want to say bragging, but, just very, very confident in what he was saying, that this was, he felt it was kind of disrespectful for them to be an 8 seed. He felt that they were a lot better than that 4-8 seed ranking. So, they're feeling good. Obviously, it's going to be a interesting matchup against McKinley. They just played them last week. McKinley came out on top. So definitely going to be a good one to watch next week in the semis.
Well, Adam, thank you very much for joining us tonight on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. I'm sure we'll be hearing more from you in the next few weeks as the playoffs continue.
Absolutely. Thanks, Francis. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Adam Gorski joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. He again was at that Grand Island Will North game, upset for the Vikings. They defeat Williamsville North to advance to the semifinals in Class A. Why don't we head to Game 7 where we're seeing a handshake, and it's Gowanda Pine Valley taking the victory 34-16 over Franklinville Ellicottville. That should complete the Class D bracket. That should be the last game in Class D. The only game going on is Lockport and Jamestown. We know that one, though, is Jamestown's leading by several touchdowns, and we can show it here. Unfortunately, they did not give us a scoreboard this week to be able to see.
So last time I heard it was 49-0. With like 8 minutes to go in the third, but
how long ago was that in real time?
Yeah, I mean, it had to have been like 10, 15 minutes ago. They did score again, but I didn't hear like the official score from like the PA system. I know the PA guy was talking about it throughout. So it could be a game where they're up, 50+ to nothing. But either way, I mean, Jamestown is en route to picking up a win over Lockport and moving on to the semifinal round.
All right, I just want to real quick for the folks tuning in, just take a quick look at that scoreboard. We're going to go back to the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. We're we're gonna have Frank Wolf in a moment, but you can see those scores there. Everything is pretty much final except for you put in 1 already?
I mean, well, the last time they're checked, they're up 50 in the fourth quarter. So I mean, I'm pretty safe to say that it's not officially final yet, but they're going to be en route to winning that game.
Yeah, but see, folks, you can see what those scores are. But Frank Wolf, our very own Frank Wolf, was at the Barker Royhart game, their win in the semifinals over Salamanca, and Frank Wolf joins us now on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. Frank, I saw a notification that you went live on Twitter after that game. I'm hoping you did that on purpose. I kind of imagine it's got to be pretty electric tonight in Barker.
Well, Francis, I think there's only about 400 people that live in Barker, but every last one of the residents was here tonight. It was. I mean, they have this Barker football program, and yes, they're with Roy Hart, but Barker as a whole, they haven't been relevant since 2011. You know, there's
well on their own, right?
On their own, yeah. 2011 is the last time Barker has been able to put anything up in their gym as far as like a banner. And that's when they used to play in the Niagara Orleans League. They don't even have that anymore. So it's been over 2 decades, 1 decade. I'm up on the math, Francis. But Barker was losing this game 14-0, and it looked 16-0. Okay, I got Tim Gardner, the producer over here, was paying more attention than I was, obviously. But Barker was trailing 16-0, and then just one thing happened, and then another thing happened, and then before the onside kick, the interception before the half, they go down and score. They get the ball and start the third quarter. So everything was just going Barker's way, and Salamanca just could not get back into this game.
Wait, Frank, you mentioned an onside kick. Are you talking about one earlier? Because I don't think we saw that, Jake. Was an onside kick earlier in the game. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, I don't know if it was meant to necessarily be an onside kick. It was kind of a shallow kick that just – it was a squib kick is what it was. And at first they called it back for a penalty, and then they had to kick it again, same exact thing, and Barker comes up with it. So, like I said, Barker just – all the little things went their way. All the bounces went Barker Royhart's way, and I'll tell you, this Bill Bruning has done a tremendous job. There's a lot of talented athletes here and on this Barker Royhart team, but Bill Bruning and his staff, man, talk about a guy who's worked his way into the conversation for Coach of the Year. He's absolutely there with what he's done with this team this year.
Frank, this Jacob Fyock. I was just actually just going to ask you that question about Coach of the Year candidates. You talk about the history of this Barker Royhart team, the last time they were really this good of a football program, and now after this season, they're one of the best teams in Class C. And you mentioned about the head coach for Barker Royhart. I mean, I think he's definitely up there as a Coach of the Year candidate. I don't know if you wanted to, describe or go more into it, but he's definitely earned that chance of getting that award.
Yeah, he's getting the most out of his players for sure. Like I said, there's some talented kids up here, kids with some skill, but he's getting even more out of them than letting them believe in themselves as a team. It's a team concept here. They support each other. It's a close-knit organization here, and you're combining two schools, and that's not very easy to do because they're competitive in other sports. But they came together as a football program, and these kids are believing in themselves. And now, listen, they've got Chautauqua Lake, Westfield, Brockton coming in next week. What did they put 50-something points up
70
today on Akron?
70.
70.
Yeah.
7-0.
So, yeah, I mean, this Chautauqua Lake, maybe they wanted to save a few of those touchdowns for next week because Salamanca thought they had this game. I talked to Chad Bartosik right after the game, and Chad's one of the best coaches around it, and he was feeling pretty good, and they were up 16-0. But just one thing after another, it just quicksand. I think we learned it best in the movie Replacements with Keanu Reeves. Quicksand. That's exactly what it was today for Salamanca. The train ride came to a stop today. I mean, Salamanca has been one of those programs for 3 straight years. They've gone deep into the playoffs and they've made noise and they just ran out of steam. They've played a lot of football at that school the last 3 seasons, and they just kind of ran out of gas today. And the weather didn't help. It was tough to throw the ball. Bradley didn't have a great day throwing the ball because of that wind. Some passes fell out of players' hands, sure catches. Just momentum changes because of some incomplete passes. The interceptions didn't help, through 2 today. So it wasn't the best day, but, Salamanca will be back. They'll be back. They got Connor Seeley coming back. You saw him today. He had a nice 60-yard touchdown run. He might have had 2. I'll have to go back and check my notes, but Salamanca's got a lot of athletes coming back. But right now, the story of the day here is the way Barker Royhart just absolutely steamrolled through Salamanca, especially in that second half. They started to really pile it on. At one point, 30 unanswered points? So this is a for-real team. Barker Royhart is a for-real team, and they got the home advantage next week. If they play Friday night and this wind is blowing next week like it was tonight, Chautauqua Lake will have a hard time throwing the football. They're going to have to run it. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Barker Royhart met Salamanca at the line of scrimmage, especially in those heavyweight rounds tonight. As this game went on, they would meet Bradley and, right at the line of scrimmage and take him down, and the same with the others. They were just they really did a good job of making the adjustments on how to take Salamanca's runaway. And once they did that, it was smooth sailing for Barker.
All right. Well, Frank, thank you very much for joining us on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline. We'll hear more.
Can I give a quick shout out?
Sure thing.
One shout out to my buddy Sean Helmer from Silver Creek, Forestville, with the big win tonight over Randolph. Sean, I'm so proud of you and that organization down there. Long time coming, Silver Creek, Randolph. They move on to the second round of the playoffs. I don't know if any of us were alive the last time Silver Creek, Forestville made it to the second round. God bless them. Good job, Sean.
All right, just like that. Peace out, Frank Wolf. Well, that was Frank Wolf there on the B&T Electrical Supply Hotline, shouting out the Silver Creek Forestville team. But to be honest, though, that is an impressive win. I know.
That was a team that was struggling. That the past years have been struggling to put teams on the football field.
Yeah.
Like having 16 players dressed to play a game.
Right. I will say though, I know that Will North Grand Island game, you were pretty confident that was going to be an interesting game, but I think this one had to be up there just as that one. Seeing Silver Creek Forestville put up the scoring they did, and also shutting out Randolph.
And that's
impressive.
That's it. I mean, maybe Randolph, remember last week they took that tough loss to Gowanda on the last play. Maybe mentally they hadn't fully recovered from that one. Mm-hmm. That maybe that played into it a little bit. But again, they were at home, and I just want to see what did it look like the last time they played? I want to see if I can. Was that my game or your game?
Randolph won. Oh, I had it. Randolph beat them 15-6.
Okay, so it was a close game.
It was a close game. Yeah. But even still, though, I mean, just the adjustments that they made from that game, that was back in week 3. So you've had theoretically 5 weeks to prepare for seeing them again, even though you didn't know you were going to see them at that point. But my point's still made, though, as in this Randolph team is going to be tough. We know they came through a heartbreaking loss against Kiwanda Pine Valley. They know they're going to be a tough team. They know that they can score, and you shut them out in the playoffs, quarterfinal matchup to move on to the semifinal. So that's an impressive win by Silver Creek Forestville. Hats off to them on the win.
Jake, why don't we look at the brackets real quick? I know we've been touching on them throughout the night. Now that pretty much the games have wrapped up, we can kind of fill in with our brains at least the matchups. I'll try to fill this in on the website tonight. This is a live look at WesternNewYorkAthletics.com. I'll try to update this with the matchups when we get off air and have that taken care of before 11 o'clock tonight. But let's fill in with our brains what we can. Bennett gets the bye. They'll take on Lancaster, won last night. We know Jamestown won or is about to win. They're going to take on Orchard Park or Hutch Tech. Let's just say for a second, Orchard Park wins that one tomorrow. That's going to be an interesting rematch. That was probably one of Jamestown's worst games of the year. That was even worse than their Bennett game because they only lost to Bennett by a touchdown.
Yeah.
Jamestown lost by, what was it, like 11?
11 points, yeah.
11 points. So I imagine Jamestown's going to be fired up. So very interesting Class AA. Class A, we just saw Grand Island pull off the upset we mentioned. They're going to take on McKinley, so a rematch of last week's game. That was a 2-score game, but I think similar to the McKinley-Clarence game, it was pretty close until the end. It wasn't until the end where McKinley kind of ran away with it. Other side, Health Sciences gets the win tonight. They're going to take on the winner of West Seneca West. Will East, remember, Will East played Health Sciences to a touchdown last week, or almost had him beat.
They lost by 5 that game.
By 5. And we're told that the kid from Will East dropped a potential game-winning touchdown in the last minute or so. So that could be fun with it. Whatever team comes out of that game tomorrow, which I believe you're on the call for, right?
Yeah, Tom Prince and I will be on the call for the West Seneca West Waynesville East game. That'll be tomorrow at 1 o'clock at West Seneca West High School. That should be one of the more premier games that we're going to get in the quarterfinal matchup. That's going to be a very good competitive game.
All right, Class B, Williamsville South, no surprise, gets the victory over Olean. They'll take on the winner of Lackawanna Pioneer tomorrow. Other side of the bracket, Iroquois got the win last night. They'll take on the winner of West Seneca East and Depew tomorrow night at 7. That's going to be an interesting matchup between those two teams. Class C, we had Southwestern Frewsburg and Eden North Collins both get wins last night. They'll take on each other. Barker Royhart, as we just heard from Frank, they got the win, and Chautauqua Lake put up a 70 burger. So two interesting matchups. Both of it chalks out in C in the first round, and I think Southwestern has, they've been dominating all year. We'll see if Eden has enough offensive firepower, but their defense has really been struggling. Mm-hmm. The other side, Barker Royhart seems like the team of destiny, but actually, it's interesting. Both of these teams have on paper, very little playoff experience, but Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton, of course, is Ty Harper, who has been to the playoffs many years. So it'll be interesting to see how C plays out.
This C bracket, I would have to look at the numbers for their offensive points per game, but these are probably up there, the 4 most high-scoring offenses in Section 6, and they're all in Class C. Southwestern Frewsburg can score a ton. Eden North Collins, we saw that. Chautauqua Lake, we just saw it tonight, and they've done it throughout the entirety of the season against Southwestern Frewsburg, who won 45-0 in that game. And then you got Barker Royhart, who just dropped 36. We know they can score a ton of
36?
points.
I thought it was 48.
I'm sorry, 40.
What is it?
46-30.
Yeah, so 48, and that was a game where they hadn't, and that was seemingly a low score. They hadn't scored for the first, quarter and a half or maybe 3/4 of the quarter. It's not like they were scoring from the get-go, and they still got...
No, it was 46-30 was the final score.
46-30, but what I'm saying is...
Yeah.
The Barker offense didn't start super hot either.
No, they didn't.
So that just shows you, imagine if they started hot, that they could have easily been in the range of 70 like Chautauqua Lake was tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably get, I think depending on who plays who in the semifinals and even in the finals, I'm going to predict that both the semifinals and finals games are going to be offensive shootouts, just because of the way these teams have been able to put points on the board. Unless their defenses step up. We know Southwestern Frewsburg's defense is really good. Chautauqua Lakes has a good defense. Barker Royhart's played some really good defense as well. But I mean, if you look at the patterns of way that these teams have played, all 4 of them throughout the season, they will put points up on the board, no ifs, ands, or buts. And I think that's what we're going to get here in the semifinals of both Class C semifinals and the Class C finals as well.
All right, and finally, Class G. This one is set. Newfane will take on Silver Creek Forestville, who picked up the upset. And then Wilson winners, they'll take on Gowanda Pine Valley. I just want to see, because I know both of those, they played each other already. So
that was also a shootout. That was also a big shootout contest. I think Wilson put up 50 on Gowanda Pine Valley.
So it was, okay, so that was week 3. Wilson defeated Gowanda Pine Valley 56-22. So that was a lot of points for Wilson in that one. And then what was the other game? It was Newfane and Silver Creek Forestville, which I think I have 2. Is that game number 3? No.
Oh, I have the Silver Creek Rainoff game, but I can look it up real quick. Newfane's,
or Silver Creek, one of them, just so we can see how that Newfane Silver Creek game went.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it real quick. But Silver Creek Forestville is definitely gonna have a tough challenge against Newfane. Newfane won 33-14.
That's a little closer than I thought.
It definitely is.
And you know what? If you're Silver Creek Forestville, the way you won tonight is probably the way you would beat Newfane, right? Ball control, running the ball well, keeping the ball out of Mac Capen's hands, and trying to catch a few breaks. And so they have the blueprint to pull it off. It's going to be tough. It's going to be much tougher against Newfane, but at least if you're Silver Creek Forestville, you have the blueprint to pull this off.
Remember how you told me that Silver Creek Forestville had a game years ago and they played a full quarter on one drive?
No, that was Randolph.
Was that Randolph?
Yeah, it was Randolph.
Well, Silver Creek Forestville is going to have to do that against Newfane. They might have to do that just so they can say, hey, we didn't let Newfane score in a quarter.
We left Capen on the bench.
Yes,
the whole time.
we kept Capen,
or at least out of play quarterback.
We prevented Capen from playing quarterback on offense. I'm not kidding. That's something that they probably will have to do. They need the kill clock. Time of possession is going to help them out in the long run if they're able to get it done against Newfane next week.
All right, Jake, why don't we wrap up with our live scoreboard? Empire State EndZone scoreboard is brought to you by Western Division. Western Division, home of the Great Rate. So let's take a look here through 2 nights of this 3-night Section 6 quarterfinals. Lancaster defeated Niagara Falls last night 20-14 to move on. They're going to take on Bennett in the first round, who had a bye. Jamestown won over Lockport. We're still waiting on a final score there. Orchard Park Hutch Tech will square off tomorrow. In Class A, McKinley defeated Clarence 36-14 last night. Grand Island gets the upset over Williamsville North 20-7, knocking off the Class A1 division winner. Health Sciences taking care of business 42-0 over Kenmore West. Williamsville East, West Seneca West tomorrow 1 o'clock on the NFHS Network. Class B, Iroquois defeated South Park 35-13 last night. Williamsville South taking care of business 42-20 over Olean. Lackawanna Pioneer, that game tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, Depew West Seneca East. So 2 games we're still waiting on in Class B. Class C has wrapped up. Southwestern Frewsburg last night, 48-7 over Medina. They will take on Eden North Collins. They pull out a win 43-28 over Portville. Then tonight, it was Barker Royhart coming from behind, getting the victory 46-30 over Salamanca. They will take on Chautauqua Lake Westfield Brockton, who put up a 70-burger, 70-12 winners over Akron. And in Class D, that is wrapped up. Newfane last night, 56-0 winners over Allegheny Limestone. Silver Creek Forestville as the 5 seed coming up with the upset over Randolph 20-0. Wilson 22-0 winners over Cattaraugus Little Valley. They will take on Gowanda Pine Valley 34-16 winners tonight over Franklinville-Ellicottville.
Well, how about that? How about that for some football? We saw some games that we weren't surprised by the outcome, maybe by the scores, obviously, but not by the outcome. But we saw a couple that didn't expect to go in some ways in terms of victory here today. We got some upsets, which you always like to see in playoffs.
Yeah, you love seeing those updates, especially when you see the different divisions play each other. You can kind of see how they stack up a little bit. I think if you're Williams-Least, you're feeling pretty good right now after you saw what Grand Island just did to Williams. Say, hey, we beat Grand Island. Granted, it was a close game, but we beat Grand Island, and Williamsville North had been all the teams in A1, right? So you got to feel pretty good if you're Williams-Least. We saw Barker Royhart, obviously a great story out there, getting the victory, not only getting the 1 seed, but being able to move on. And after a little bit of a tough start there, they're able to beat Salamanca. So a lot of great storylines heading into the semifinals. I think we're going to need a lot of interesting matchups at the stadium in a couple weeks.
I think we definitely will as well, especially from I would say in classes A and B, I would say are pretty intriguing. Class C, you can say now as well. But this is what we expected, I would say, as the season went along. We were going to get some intriguing matchups. Some teams who haven't faced each other yet. Some teams are going to face each other a second time with some adjustments from their previous matchups. But this was a nice week that really tested teams, and you saw the games that went final. The teams are going to move on. You're going to get plenty more of those tomorrow. I'll be on the call for West Seneca West Willys, which should be a really good game.
Yeah, that's the game. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it live, but I'm looking forward to see how that one ends up. But yeah, and a couple good games tomorrow as well. So an interesting, again, with the Halloween holiday kind of messing things up, spreading out the games a little bit over these 3 days. But I believe next week they'll at least mostly either all of them or most of them should be on Friday. So that'll help clear things up. And we're less than 2 weeks away from Highmark Stadium, Jake.
Let's not mention Monsignor Martin tomorrow.
That's
big
right.
Game there.
That's the other game I keep forgetting about.
Canisius versus St. Francis for the 1 seed in Monsignor Martin.
That one is going to be good. Obviously, St. Francis got some new stars in this year. Canisius with Elijah Kimball and company. They've been on a collision course all year long. So we'll see. That's going to be 7:00 at St. Francis. That's going to be on My TV Buffalo. I believe it's going to be Joe Kraus and Tom Prince on the call for that one.
Oh, that's going to be a good broadcast.
So that is, yeah. So it doesn't get much bigger than that.
Tom's going to do double duty. Because I got him.
I guess,
I got him on my call.
And he
as
called
well.
it. Let's see.
Wow, busy couple days for Tom.
Yeah, did he call a game? No, I don't think he called a game tonight. No, he was off tonight, but he hit last night. He did the game with Frank, the Clarence McKinley game.
Okay. Oh, busy 3 days for him. Busy 3 days for Joe Kraus, too. Busy day for us as well. Prepping these games, getting them ready. We appreciate you guys tuning in for this.
I got to do some soccer tomorrow.
Yeah, soccer. You also got to update the brackets. I got to still work on my game notes for tomorrow's game. But, we do this for you guys. We want you guys to get in on the action, know what's going on with high school sports in Western New York, especially during the high school football season. Whether we do it on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, or on the website, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning into this one and tuning into all of our broadcasts as well. This has been another fun one. Still up in the air if we'll do this next week. But if
it
we
depends
don't,
on you guys. It depends on you, the viewers.
Definitely does.
You will decide.
But, hypothetically it doesn't, though. We'll just say thank you for tuning in to all 8 weeks, all the way from the start of the regular season up to the quarterfinal games. We can't thank you guys enough for doing that. But with this, we'll sign off. Francis Boeck, Jacob Fyock on multiple positions here tonight. Just a 2-man show, but we got the job done, and we're happy that you guys were able to like what you saw tonight. So with that being said, another edition of Empire State EndZone is complete. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll hope to see you next time.